Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead and right here, right now.
Subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Listen, man, lots been going on. Let me know everything looks good and sounds good. Kind of off schedule a little bit, huh? We typically do a lot of things at night, but hey, let's talk about it, man. Skip Bayless has kicked the hornet's nest with his latest tweets. So let me know everything. Give me a thumbs up. I see you in that T. Hines. Let me know everything looks good, sounds good. Brian, appreciate you, Jags fan. Qui as fresh. I know you always come here, but I always jack that name up. And Slow Folk is all good. Courtney Joe in the building. What's up with you, baby? I'm going to open the phone lines. I need you to go in and call in. Canes Forever, thank you so much. It is what it is. Coach Hayes, do you sleep, my boy? No, because I got to make it happen, man, but that's what it is. So anyway, let's get straight into this deal. Let's talk about it. I don't want to be here too long because we got another show coming on at 8 o'clock as well. But anyway, listen, there's a lot of controversy around Skip Bayless's tweets, and I'm not really here about the tweet. I'm here more about the apology. I have to be very honest with you. If you saw the thumbnail, it says Skip Bayless is tone deaf. And when I said tone deaf, that's exactly what I meant. He's a guy who says what he wants and he doesn't read the room. He feels as if he can say whatever he wants, going back to T. Suggs, going back to Chris Bosh, going back to Terrell Owens. And I understand it's entertainment. Don't get me wrong. But what he doesn't seem to understand is that these people are human beings. They're not products. Yes, I know they have a number on their chest when they play the game, but they're still people. They're still human. And he feels he can say whatever, do whatever, and there's no repercussions to it. You know, he just recently got into it. Y'all got to forgive the light going up and down. I got a window really right in front of me. And so you'll see the light kind of fluctuating, but at night you don't see that because it's nighttime. But during the day, cloud cover and everything else. But anyhow, him and Shannon Sharp just got into it over Tom Brady. You know, Shannon Sharp had his viewpoint on Tom Brady that he wasn't playing well. Skip Bayless loves Thomas Edward Michael Brady, whatever he always calls him, the full name. And he took a low blow on Shannon Sharp. You know, he felt like he was losing the debate. It got heated, and he took a shot below the belt, telling Shannon Sharp that he's better than you. You had to stop at 35. You mad because you're jealous because he's still going at 45. And Shannon took offense to that. Shannon just simply said, bro, you going to take a shot at me like that? He said, I'm an effing Hall of Famer. I'm an effing Hall of Famer. You going to take a shot at me like that? And I thought it was below the belt. And Skip still has not apologized publicly. I firmly believe that when people do this, when you do something publicly, you fix it publicly. Just that simple. I actually did that with Deion Sanders. If you had a chance to watch the tape, I was hot. But as I sat back and I realized, I came on and I corrected it. And I simply said, you know what? I was wrong. And there's nothing wrong with saying that you're wrong. And I'm going to put his tweet up here in a second if I can find the doggone thing because they keep moving it and erasing it and all that. I don't know why I can't find it. I just put it on the thumbnail. I even forgot about Richard Sherman, how he went at Richard Sherman. And so anyhow, this is where Skip Bayless, this right here in my mind is where Skip Bayless fails at this stuff. But there's no repercussions to his actions. There's no repercussions to the things that he says. And it's okay. You may say something. That's life. We all make mistakes. But he never fixes it. And that's the problem. He never fixes the issue. I'm trying to see if I can pull up this tweet right quick. And we'll read the tweet, and then I'm going to go to the apology. Because I want to really dissect what he said in his tweet. Because some people say, oh, well, you're not reading the last line. Well, it's not about the last line. Let's see if I can find this tweet. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of impromptu here. And when you put, here we go. Hopefully this will pop up big. And I appreciate everybody coming into the chat. I thank you so much. Let me see if I can put this up here. All right, here we go. Come on, Hayes, tighten up. All right, here we go. So here's Skip Bayless's tweet. See if I can make it a little bigger. Get this crap out of the way. So his tweet says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the season. Let me move this up for the copyright me. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the season, rest of the game. But how? That's important. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. And people are harping on the last piece, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. And that is true. But the other sentences prior to it is where the tone deafness comes in. You see what's going on. You're watching the game. You can look at the faces of these players. The fact that the NFL is even considering postponing a game after an injury should send up a red flag to a guy who always talks about he's been around this game for so long. That right there should have let you know, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is bigger than rap. This is bigger than just, a broken leg or even someone being knocked out. You have to be able to read the room in these cases. And one thing about Twitter, once it's out, it's gone. You never get it back. I don't care if you delete the thing, somebody's going to screenshot it immediately, and that's what's going to make it happen. So he talked about the previous tweets and all that. You guys can go back and check that if you haven't seen it already. Well, here's where my issue is. Now he comes to his apology. I'll pull this down for a second. So now he goes to this apology. And this is where I have a real issue. And the reason I have an issue about this apology is because he never apologized to the young man and his family for the tweet, which you can consider insensitive. But it was more or less
up front.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. I want to make sure you guys can hear this tweet. Make sure you guys can hear it. I don't know why it's been acting up, but let me know if you can hear this. If not, I'll definitely try to get it in. So here's his apology. I'm going to play it a little bit. I need an immediate thumbs up. I need an immediate thumbs up to let me know if you guys can hear everything. So I'm going to play his apology, which I think was BS. This is 2 minutes of the intro. And there's some acting in here too. Get out of here with that foolishness, man. Matter of fact, Skip, hold your chin out about 3 inches. Let me go at it. Slap your face. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front I'm still shook up by what happened last night to Damar Hamlin. In fact, I'm still wrecked.
All right, you guys said there's an echo in there. So let me see why that's an echo. Like I said, it's always been an issue. I don't know why this does this. I don't know what stream y'all people got. I'm going to play it now to see. Let me see.
In fact, I'm not sure I'm capable of doing this show today. But after barely sleeping on it, I decided to give it a try. Maybe I'll fail. Maybe we will fail. But we're going to try. We wrestled through much of the night whether to even do a show today because it felt like in our minds, we almost can't win with this because the last thing we want to try to do is come off as insensitive to what this young man is going through in a life or death situation. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports. As this show goes on, we're going to try to talk about a little bit of sports, but we're going to continue to talk about what happened to this young man last night and try to sort back through it with help from you in the audience. And we ask you now, if you'd like to tweet us your emotions of the night and of this morning about what happened to Damar Hamlin, please do so. You can tweet us at undisputed, and I will be sharing some of your tweets and your emotions as we share our experience of last night through this very difficult morning for all of us. As a partner today, I look forward to seeing him tomorrow.
All right, I want to go back in this very intro part. He never apologized for the tone deafness of the tweet to the family. He apologized because he said, "I'm sorry that the show is not going to be what you're accustomed to." I'll play it again, and I'm gonna open up the phone lines and we're gonna talk. So all the people that disagree with me, please call in. It's not going to be an argument. We're going to handle this like civilized people. But I have to say, I want to hear that side of this because I know what I heard. But I want to hear this apology. I'm going to play the apology again. One time he says he's sorry.
Allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show. But I'll admit up front.
He said, "I apologize." Play it one more time, just make sure I heard it correctly.
Allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show.
So he's apologizing for doing a show after a catastrophic incident, right? After a major, he's not apologizing for the tweet. For you could call it insensitive. I call it, which is tone deaf, insensitive. It's all one and the same. But I don't see how he's ATL on this, above the law. I don't understand how, and I want to make this clear. I don't look at this as a race thing. I look at this as a do the right thing. I'm being very honest about that. I don't look at this as black and white. I don't. I look at this as insensitive. But there are some components to it, and I know some people are going to bring that up. But he doesn't apologize to anyone for the things that he does. You call a man Chris Bosh Spice when he was referring to Chris Bosh. And Jalen Rose had to come on there and check him. When Jalen Rose came on there and checked him and took a personal shot at him, calling him Water Pistol Pete, Guess what Jalen Rose did the next day? Came on the show and apologized to him for taking a personal shot. But how did Jalen Rose fix it? Where he did it publicly, he came back and fixed it publicly. He attacks Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman got on his head. T. Suggs. But most important, you take this shot at Shannon Sharpe, the guy you call your brother, and you don't even fix that publicly, bro. That's bad business. To me, that's bad business. My prayers go out to Damar Hamlin, his family. I hope he's okay. It was an unfortunate accident. My prayers also go out to T. Higgins, the receiver, in which he tackled. A lot of people are focused on Damar Hamlin, which they very well should be. But T. Higgins he's going through it as well because he inflicted that, but just through the game. He didn't do anything dirty. There's nothing like that. I'm not insinuating that at all. But when these players, they have respect for one another. They don't like each other during game time. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, all players have respect for one another. You saw it on the field. You saw it through the fan base. I mean, bro, the Cincinnati Bengals fans are at the hospital. Like, so when these types of things happen, people understand. You know, I know there's a lot going on with his charity where it's got up $3 million and so forth. And I was with Footballville last night on their show and we talked about it and so forth. And you guys go check that out if you like. Darnell, you said, Coach, why are you mad at Skip? That's how he feels. I understand that. But feelings have consequences too, as we can see that today. I'm not mad at his feeling. But once you become public figure like this, right here, you said it right here, Coach. And I want to talk about it, Darnell, so please call. Coach, why are you mad at Skip? That's how he feels. I understand that. But there is a level of respect in certain things when you're dealing with people, not products. That's the difference right there, Darnell. But I would love to have you call in. And I would love to talk about this. I really would. I want to talk to people who maybe see my viewpoint on it, but also I really want to talk more to people who don't see the tweet as being insensitive, or people who like, what's the big deal? Because that's just where it is. And then you come with this haphazard apology, which is not, you didn't even apologize. You basically tried to justify the tone deafness in the tweet. That's my point on it. I'll play this last piece. This is already copyrighted. They already hit me with the copyright. FS1 already hit us. It's all good. We're here to learn.
Allow me to say up front that I apologize for what we're going to set out to do here today if it offends anyone, because we're going to try to do the show pretty much as we usually do the show.
So I'm done with Skip Bayless. You're apologizing because the show's format is not typically of what people, the viewers see for Undisputed on Fox Sports 1, FS1. That's what he apologized for. He didn't apologize for what was being said. Now, if he did, I missed it. Shannon Sharpe didn't show up today. Why that is, I don't know. I'm not here to speculate. Maybe he's out sick. It's coincidental. Or he's just sick of his ish. Just what it is. So, with all that being said, I appreciate it. I just want to spend some time. I like to talk to the team. That's the people that follow this channel, man, and view this channel. Come check us out. Let me put this over here so I can open up the phone line. We'll get this thing rocking and rolling. But I do want to hear your points of view on what was said, because this is about the apology. We could talk about the tweet. We could talk about Skip Bayless in the past. And we could talk about all that good stuff. But I just want to talk about that part in particular. Let me pull up the app. I'm sorry, y'all. I wasn't going to do it, but I got to do it. All right. The phone number is right here, 321-328-8235. Guys, if you want to comment, please do. You have to do so. You have to be a subscriber because the robots are killing the show. So just all you do is hit the subscribe button. It's free. You're more than welcome to comment and everything else. 708 area code. I believe it's my man, Chi-Town Kane. Talk to me, baby.
What's up, Coach? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, man. Yeah. What's your thoughts?
Well, first off, prayers to Damar Hamlin, his family, and T. Higgins. Because, nobody even pictures that happening, especially playing football or any sport. So I definitely agree with Skip being one of the most tone-deaf people that I've seen on TV or just in general. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if you follow him on Twitter because he did try to clear up his tweet after that, but by that time, everybody had already pictured or, decided what that tweet meant or whatever, which is a reason I don't like posting or texting things because you really can't hear a tone. Because I do feel that some people like Skip, especially in the media industry, they try to talk in headlines. Because I could definitely see how the tweet was, like, how do they do it? Like, not saying, like, I don't agree with them stopping the game. They could be like, well, how are they going to do this? Because this game really is important, but it does seem irrelevant right now. I could agree how that could be taken either way. Mm-hmm. And then after that, he did tweet publicly that what his tweet actually meant. He did say prayers to the young man, and that was the point of the last tweet or whatever. So I definitely agree that he does have a problem not seeing or reading the room because nobody can really tell if he is actually being very serious or does he know how disrespectful that sounded. Now, I don't know the man personally. I don't know too many people who do. But I don't think he's one of the people who, apologizes publicly. I feel like if he has a problem with somebody individually, he'll go straight to that person and apologize, and then everybody else be damned because he really doesn't care what anybody else feels. Now, I don't know anything like that. I could just picture it just like anybody else could. I think anybody else would have an opinion. But also, I definitely do think that he doesn't think he did anything wrong, which, again, goes to the tone deaf part. So I do think I think he did have a problem being tone deaf, and he really should have read that properly and not talked in headline where he was just like, how does the NFL do this, all this and that, because I don't know how he meant it, but I could see how other people took it. I think he could have just gone straight to the point and just be like, NFL needs to stop X, Y, and Z, prayers to the young man. He could have done that.
And again, right, and shot to your point, but to your point, right, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's all about, as people said a long time ago, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Absolutely.
Very much in that same tweet, he could have said and made it clear. He could have simply, and I know this Monday morning quarterback in hindsight is 2020. I get it. Shout out to you, brother Jay Blaze. I haven't seen you, man. Happy New Year. We got to chop it up. But anyway, Sha, let me tell you something. You can tweet that and just simply say, there's a lot at stake for the NFL, but life comes first. His health comes first. This, that, and the other. And I understand. But the way you phrase it, as if when you say that, how, when you ask that question, how, it makes it seem as if you are prioritizing the record, the implications of this game more than his life or more than his safety. That's where the problem lies. When you say, but how? Yeah, you were asking a question, but you can ask questions that are rhetorical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
and that's the issue I have with it. If he would have simply said, man, my prayers are here, out to the family, blah, blah, blah. None of that is said. Nothing referred. He just said, now this all seems irrelevant. I get that piece, but it's almost is overshadowed by the first 3 or 4 sentences of that tweet. And, and he magnified the game more than the irrelevancy of the game at that point. I hope that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. Like, me and you agree to that sense that he should have done better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he definitely should have or could have, however which way you want to put it, just played it deadpan and just been like, listen, this man's safety and health is more important than any game being played right now, regardless of playoff picture, regardless of the time of season. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
I definitely agree with that, because obviously I really do, because there were some people who actually were worse than that, who literally just said that the players, it's in their contract, they need to man up and play the game. There are people who did a lot worse than that.
Right.
Impersonally, I do agree that he should have done better. Now, I will give him some thought, because he did come in the next tweet and just be like, I was like, the tweet was last misunderstood, and that man's health is important.
Mm-hmm.
He did tweet on the same platform that he messed up on, and he did say that that's what that meant, and he did say that he was praying for him. So I do say that he did what he said. He said what he said, and then he came back and tweeted it. But he never.
Time, but Shy, he never said, "I'm sorry for the tone." Because he's a journalist, and journalists write in tone. Journalists write in feelings. Journalists write a certain way to make people feel. You use certain adjectives, you use certain words to make people feel a part of the story. So he understands that. It's not like he's not seasoned in this craft. So what I'm saying is, I agree that he prayed for the family, and I believe he did that sincerely. I do. But listen, you know how somebody try to throw the rock and hide their hand? No, it wasn't me. That's not what I meant. No, it's exactly what you meant. Because you write in tonality. You write when journalists write things. That's what makes you a great journalist, because you make people feel a certain way when they read your article or your story or whatever. Just like headlines. Headlines use certain words to do what? Make you read the article, or in today's world, clickbait, make you click it. And that's the piece I'm saying. But go ahead, man. Finish your last point. We get some people in been calling.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. No, like I said, Coach, we agree on the totality of the statement. You and I both agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
You, or I don't think anybody in this chat know if he apologized behind the scenes. And to other point, whether people say that he needs to apologize publicly or not, I really truly feel that him personally, I really do think at this point in his life, if he apologizes individually to the person, and him and that person are individually squared away, whether they appreciate it or not, I feel like in his heart, if he is squared away with that person privately behind closed doors, or publicly, it really doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's like that. I'm not saying I agree with it, but
I feel you, Shy. And only reason I hear what you're saying. I totally understand. But I disagree simply because, as they say back in the old day, I'm going to get you right there where it went wrong. If you blast me out publicly, I want a public apology. And, in that sense, that's all that I want to say about that. Now, if you go on and have a further conversation, or even if you apologize to them privately, and then you come out publicly and say, hey, look, me and this person talked and I apologized and we're squared away, I can even accept that. But for you not to say anything at all, not even to acknowledge it, I got a real issue with that. But Shy, I got to let you go, baby. Happy New Year to you. I appreciate it, as always, supporting this channel. I got to get these other callers in, because they blasting the line.
Of course, Coach. Happy New Year.
Thanks, brother.
We both agree on the final.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're all good.
All right.
Yep.
All right, hold on one quick. All right, caller, give me 1 second. Real quick, somebody told me about StreamYard. I use StreamYard, so I don't know why it's going there, but it is a free platform. But yes, I pay for my StreamYard, actually, so it's not free. Darnell says, I want to talk off air. Why? You don't have to show your face. I would love to have you come on, man. Ellen in the building. Happy anniversary. That's between you and Reggie. Happy New Year to you, Ellen, the producer of the show. We got to talk, Ellen. I'm going to DM you in a little bit. We got to talk about something. All right. And let me see here. I want to see something I just saw I just saw. And I want people to call in that have a totally different viewpoint than I have. I love to have those kind of dialogue and those talks, and hopefully this caller feels that way. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
Hi, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, Miss Wilcox. Happy New Year to you, Oracle.
Hey, but anyway, let's get to it. What is his title? Do you go first round, second round, or third round? What is this player position? What is his entitlement? Because you all got to understand there's levels in the NFL. And Skip going to play with the level. Is he a Tom Brady? Did you ask yourself that? So Skip is like playing this entitlement. Okay, this man went down. Pick him up, take him off. Do what you do. Put somebody else there. Replace them, because this is a contract. That's rules and regulation. See, you all forgot. NFL is entitlement. First, second, and third round. Or did you be one of those big ones come up with a contract that made it to the top? So it's entitlement. You don't have to report anything because whatever's in this person's background check, he's paying on a background check to this player.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really care because he's like, get him off the field. Another player, keep going, because that's what they do. But on this point, you couldn't do this.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The player was really injured from something. And the facts lays with the facts. But Skip laid with the contract. And when you lay with the contract, move his ass to the next and give him somebody else. That's what Skip was doing. They don't give a hoot unless you first, second, and third, or you come over from another place and we give you a big contract. Remember, I keep telling y'all, levels. It's first, second, and third round. And if you get a big contract, you come to that organization. So this man, is he a piece? Is he third, fourth, fifth? What round is this player? Because at the end of the day, one has sympathy because he's been there. And that's Shannon Sharp. He been in that position, been hurt, and know what it feel like. Skip is like, I don't get dirty. That's not my job. I don't have to take this. I have no feelings. He took all the emotion up because he's like, y'all supposed to go with the next man up. It's not about him getting hurt. It's about the money making for him. He's not for nobody else. So entitlement. And I told you. Bye.
Listen. Bye, Miss Wilcox. The Oracle has spoken, y'all, and there it is. Real quick, Cliff Acres says it's funny people are crazy about people being insensitive, but yet everyone on YouTube are trying to bank on the situation, all about trying to make money on someone else's life. I disagree with that. Caller, do me a favor, cut your background down a little bit. Cliff, I hear what you're saying, and there may be some vultures out there. But here's what I have to say about YouTube or these type of platforms. It does give people a way to voice alternative opinions, and you're not stuck to the top 5 major media outlets. And it gives people a voice. It gives people a chance, like myself and others, to reach out to people across the country to hear. Now, Cliff, if you think that we making money off of these videos, I just got demonetized by playing. I didn't have to play Skip's apology. All this money is geared, this about $20 is about to go to FS1 because they're going to copyright this and they're going to get the money for it. So I understand where you're coming from, but there are some vultures out there. But for people like myself, I was just compelled to talk about it because I see it and we see things all the time. And that's part of being in this space, right? We talk about the good, got to talk about the bad. So I appreciate your comment, man. Thank you so much. Waiting on the next phone call. I guess they hung up. But anyway, and Desmond Williams, and I'm gone. That's right, she gone. But like I say, don't be afraid to call in. 321-328-8235. You see the phone number right here. Go ahead and give us a call. You're more than welcome to call in. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Come see me. I don't know why people nobody wants to call in. Courtney Joe, you're more than welcome to call in, baby. You do Google, man. All you gotta do is hit the number. It's up there. 321-328-8235. Nobody's calling right now. You better call on in. But anyway. Oh, here we go. We got us one on Fish On. Got us one. Call to talk to us, 239 area code. What's your name, where you're calling from, and what's your viewpoint on this whole situation?
Oh, yeah, my name's Ralph. I'm calling from Fort Myers, Florida.
All right, Ralph, you got to do us a favor. I don't know if you got Bluetooth or speakerphone, but your car noise is louder than you talking.
Okay. Let me turn it. Hear me better now?
Man, that's 100% better, bro. Go for it.
For sure. Man, listen, man. I don't coach football, not at your level, but you don't been coaching football for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, dude, I done seen some harder hits than that, dog. Are we serious, man? Are we 100% sure the hit is what caused this young man, this 24-year-old guy to start having heart issues, man? Because that's what they're saying. I guess his heart had stopped on the field. That's just a question I'm just throwing out there, man.
So I'll say this. Maybe, maybe not. But what I will say is it did happen on the field, right? It's just like when that coach Mike Hart, right? Is it Mike Hart? Yeah, from Michigan. Remember he fell out on the sideline?
Okay.
Was he coaching that hard that he just fell out? No, there may be things that happen. He may have been on the brink of something. And, I tell people who knows what's happening inside the body but the body. There are people who have there's people who have a blood clot. They may decide to just go out for a jog one day and they loosen that blood clot up and it shoot right to the heart. And they died.
Yeah.
Did the running really cause the blood clot?
Oh, that? Yeah.
But they already had it. He may have had something going on, and that jarring hit may have done something. I don't know. Furthest from a medical doctor. But what I do know, but what I do know is that it did happen, and it happened in the act of playing this game. So therefore, you take it for what it is, And so those are the kind of things you don't know. So when you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. Like I say, I've seen some of the biggest hits in the world. Kid get right up. I see a dude, man. Matter of fact, Tua is one of the perfect examples. I've seen Tua get blasted. He get right up. A dude tackle him, lay him on the ground. He break an ankle. I remember I was telling this on the show the other day. I heard her talk to an orthopedic doctor. He said it is very easy to break bones, but there's two major factors that you have to understand. You have to have the right amount of pressure and the right angle, and you can snap a bone like that. You understand me?
Right.
It's the
same. Let me
same.
ask you a question, Coach.
Mm-hmm, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I just got a question for you right quick.
Sure.
Have you heard about what's been going on as far as like with some of these soccer players, man, like professional soccer players falling out and having heart issues, right? On the field, just fall out. I don't know. Have you heard about that stuff?
I have not. I don't follow soccer like that, but I wouldn't doubt it. It's a lot of people. Yeah. Again, at the professional level, you would think the doctors are a little bit more attentive to their patients. But I know in high school sports, you used to see that all the time, man. Kids fall out, pass out, the heat wave. Now they got a rule. You got to have water. I want to say a 5-minute water break every 20 minutes, I believe, in practice, so they can have water. Because these doctors give them a physical, cough twice. They look at your eyes. All right, you cleared the play. And then come to find out the kid got a heart murmur because they don't put an EKG on them. So it's a lot of things that go on, but who knows what you've developed from the last time you had your physical. Who knows, man? The body is weird like that.
All right, Coach. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for calling, brother. Appreciate it. All right, we take the next caller, 321-328-8235. I would love to hear your points about the apology when it comes to Skip Bayless. Do you think it was heartfelt? Do you think he did apologize? Maybe not. Caller, talk to a 678 area code. It was heartfelt. Do you think he did apologize? Maybe not. Caller, talk to a 678 area code.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You got to turn your background down a little bit because it's coming through your phone.
Oh, I got you, Coach. Appreciate you taking my call, man. Yeah, I mean, to me, the whole Skip Bayless thing, sometimes it can be tough, man. Like, 'cause people write things out and somebody could take it how they read it. And what Skip said, he was basically stating the importance of the game, the time of the season it was, and how it didn't seem as important because this was going on to that young man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I looked at it. So I don't even feel like he needed to apologize. I think what the NFL needs to do is allow these guys to really start playing how they normally play, because playing not to get a penalty can be just as dangerous. And then you look at the way these guys are form tackling in the pros and college now. Nobody drives through the ball anymore. They don't put the they don't put the hat on the ball anymore. It just looks so like they're trying to rip somebody's head off, which again is just as equally as dangerous. So the game's at a standstill right now as far as how can we make sure, that these guys play the way they know how to play without the defensive players being at a disadvantage? Because right now it seems like all the rules, it benefits offensive players.
So I totally agree. I've been a very big component of, you want to call targeting on a defensive player, which I get it. You should call targeting. But
Right.
when that running back is trying to get over the goal line and he's at the 3 and he barrels his head in the guy's chest, based on the letter of the law, is safety. The commentator be like, look at him, he trucked him, he ran him over. I always bring up that picture of Shivers, who was at Auburn when they played Alabama. I forget who the defender was. He barreled his helmet, the crown of his helmet, the running back, into the chest of the defender.
Right.
And I think it should be called both ways in that sense, because the rule is about safety. You understand? And so if I can break my neck with my head down, you can break your neck with your head down. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I totally agree with you. But we got a lot of people are asking to hear. My man AG, I need you to call in, baby. That's my man right there. He says apologize for what? But I want AG to call in because that's my dog. We can go back and forth and still have love at the end of this. But I do want to hear what his point is. So the phone number's on the screen, AG. Go ahead and call in. But for anybody else, like D-Lo B2010, saying apologize for what? So I appreciate all the callers that are calling in, kind of saying, yeah, they get it or whatever. But I want people to call in that strongly disagree with what I have to say.
Hey, Coach, quick question. Like,
sure.
Because you've been around football for forever. I mean, can you see where safeties, corners, even some linebackers, like their form tackling has gotten awful? I don't ever see anybody break down anymore. I never see anybody drive through the runner. It just seems like they're just trying to make a contact hit for the, just try to get this big, ESPN top 10 hit, but it's just more dangerous as opposed to anything else. Like these guys, they it's like form tackling and fundamental football has just gone out the window.
Can I be very honest? I hear what you're saying, but you know what surprises me more than anything? But it shows a respect level. I am super surprised that defensive back safeties are not chopping these guys at the knees. Like when they're in the air and they're not just flipping them on their neck by hitting them in the knees. Because I know why it's not happening, because they do have a respect for these guys. Like you talk about defenseless, your legs are defenseless. And you've heard receivers say, I'd rather you hit me in my chest or whatever than hit me in my legs and have me walking like a flamingo. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I had to be honest. If it's a DB up in the air and he's stretched out, man, look here, bro. There's no penalty for me hitting him in his legs and he land on his neck.
Right.
But to me, that's a dirty hit because you don't have to do that. But then you're also, as a DB, you're caught trying to hit somebody in the strike zone. I've always made this equation that it's like a pitcher in baseball. He throws the ball, and I step across the plate and get hit with the ball, but you blame the pitcher for hitting the batter. Now some guys do targeting. I get it. That's not what I'm saying. But once I'm in the act of making a tackle and it's a bang bang play, it was no intent in that. But I totally understand. But man, I appreciate it. I got to get going. I got some people calling in.
All right, appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks, brother. All right, we got us another one on the hot. We got a hotline today. 443 area code. Caller, talk to us. We got 377 people in the building. So let us know if you are with what I said, not against what I said. Does Skip need to apologize? Does he not need to apologize? Talk to us.
I believe that he should have apologized, but I understand why he didn't apologize, because that's like a normal reaction for Skip. You know what I mean? In the moment, him saying something slick out of his mouth, you know what I mean? But I don't feel like it was his intent to, you know what I mean, really disrespect that guy that was down there like that. However, I do want to say this. I want to applaud the NFL for the way they handled the situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And to the audience, I would say you keep your foot on Skip's neck, because you're not going to all the time catch him down bad. You know what I mean? So, you know, you got your shot right now, because if this was somebody else, Skip would beat you down. So beat him down. You know what I mean? He fair game right now. He low hanging fruit, so kick him right now.
So let me ask you a question. You said it was not his intent. You say he shouldn't apologize because that's Skip Bayless, and that wasn't his intent. Am I correct?
In the moment, I get it. We say that all the time. On to the next man until, you know what I mean, oh, dang, now he's getting CPR. Now the situation and the information changed.
No problem. So here's my question. So here's my question to that. I can agree with that. I'm not blasting him for the tweet more than I'm blasting him for not apologizing for the tweet. So here's my point to you, sir. What's your name again?
My name Black from Baltimore.
Black, Baltimore. I heard it coming at you. All right, so Black from Baltimore, because I went to school in Virginia, so I know. So here we go, Black. Here's my question. Even if Skip's intent was not to be tone deaf or tasteless, what's wrong with apologizing if it is being perceived that way? Here's my equation. Here's my flip to that. I'm gonna ask you one question. You ever been in the club? Black, you ever been in the club?
Uh-huh.
You ever stepped on somebody's foot?
Yes.
What's the first thing you say?
My bad.
My bad, dog. I ain't mean to do that. That wasn't your intent to step on his foot, but you made a mistake. Hey, man, my bad. I apologize, man. And y'all keep on moving. So what's wrong?
They different.
No, it's not. It's not different because
I had the information. I had the information right there. See, he didn't have the information that he has now. See, because in the moment, that's just like when you say, "Oh, that was a touchdown," and then when you watch the replay or you watch further on, then oh no, it wasn't a touchdown.
So that's my point. So now
your information changed.
But Black, that's my point. So now that you have the information, man. My bad. I made a mistake. That's all I'm saying. I did. But I did the same. But listen, but Black, I did the same thing with Deion Sanders. I came out. I did a show. He left. He blah blah blah. And now that I got more information about how things weren't being paid, these things weren't happening. I came out and made another show, and it says I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with saying that you were wrong if you gain more information. That's my point.
Depending on the situation. He still wasn't being malice. You know what I mean? He still didn't do anything harmful. He still didn't, you know what I mean, cross a disrespectful line. Only thing he was saying was, what is the norm? You know what I mean? Next man up. You know what I mean? And he wanted to be first to the tweet so he could say he was right and, you know, on with the game or whatever the case may be. And then once the information has changed, now, oh, shoot. But you done already shot out, you know what I mean, trying to be first. But it wasn't no malice intent behind. I can see if we were saying something about a racist comment or, you know what I mean, something harmful and malicious or something like that, then yeah, you know what I mean? But in this case, that's the nature of the beast. You know what I mean? Plus playing football, you know, it's the next man up. We say it all the time. We do it all the time. And he just wanted to be first to, you know what I mean, first one on the trigger with it. And, you know, he just got caught out there. And again, I say, you know what I mean, he deserved all the criticism he get. Sure. He didn't put himself in the situation, and people has the right to, you know what I mean, call for his job, take shots at him, get their opinion about him, drag him. And I hope they continue to do it as long as he would do it if it was somebody else.
Yeah, and see, my thing is this: he's not going to lose his job behind this. I
know.
I have to be honest with you. I wouldn't want him to lose his job, but what I do want him to do is be like all people, bro. They do it even in journalism. See, this is what I'm saying. So I'm with you, Black. But even
he gotta eat that humble pie today. He gotta eat some humble pie.
But he's not eating it. That's my problem. He's not. His apology, I don't know if you saw the beginning of the show, Black. His apology was for the format of the show of today.
I've seen it. I just checked it out what he said and how he said it, and I didn't agree with it. I didn't like it. It was distasteful. It was distasteful to me. However, I do understand the situation, and I'm a just man. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
And I do get it. I'm into sports real heavy, and I've done that same thing a million times, just not on air. You know what I mean? But it's nothing. It was nothing malicious behind it. That's why I say an apology isn't really warranted because of the intent.
But again, bro, I can use 1,000 intents. I'm not gonna go there. But also, we've seen so many other people that wasn't their intent, but they were forced to apologize. All I'm saying, but I'm not gonna go there because I don't want to make it.
And I would love. Are you right? And I would love to have that conversation. That's like I was going to speak to the Dion point. You know what I mean? That you made. However, and I'm going to subscribe to your show, and I'm going to start checking in with you. We're going to chop it up. We're going to have some of these conversations because I would love to go there.
I got you. No, you're 100% right. But Black, listen, thank you so much for calling in, man. I appreciate you. Apparently, you must be a new watcher here to the show. Don't be a stranger,
I just
bro.
caught you today. It just popped on the phone, and I had clicked on it and was checking it out. Like I said, I just listened to the Skip Bayless part. You know what I mean? And then your joint had popped on next, so I just clicked it on there.
Hey, there it is, man. So I appreciate it. I guess I get to the other guy, Cliff Akers. I guess I am being a vulture out here. I got a new subscriber. So I appreciate you, Black, as always, from Baltimore, baby. Thanks, man.
That's right, man.
All right,
Be more stand up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
All right,
Catch you next time.
Yes, sir. All right, man. That was a pretty cool call, man. New caller, one new scared. Jimmy Jam says Skip is being crushed because of all the things that he said in the past because of the tweet that was not all bad. And that is factual as well. That's a very good point, Jimmy Jam. That, you know, it's almost like the OJ deal, right? They had to give OJ all that time about his memorabilia, but because he got off the first time, they bammed him for the second time. And I think people are tired. I have to say this. People are tired of Skip continuously doing these things, and there's no repercussions to him. Also, to Black's point, before I get to the next caller, some people get a pass because they say, oh, that's just Skip. I remember I worked with a lady. I'm going to leave her nameless, but I worked with a lady. She was always out of bounds. And you know what people say? Oh, that's just her. No, it's not just her. She has to fall within the rules of life. Because if I come in and start acting the same way she did, I'd be in the supervisor's office trying to explain. So that's my issue, is that if we set up rules, then let's follow those things. But anyway, that's another story. I feel that, like I said, to his point, to Black's point from Baltimore, you make a statement, you shoot the gun first. I get it. You got to be first. That's part of media. But even in journalism, in the newspapers, if they get it wrong, what do? They retract the statement and they write a correction piece. It's all I'm saying is nothing wrong with just saying, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. That wasn't my intent. If he would have came out and said, you know what? The tweet I put out last night, I can understand how people can see it to be insensitive, but that was not my intent. My intent was through his clarification, because he even said the bosses from Fox called him and said, you need to clarify this. So if the bosses from Fox call you to say you need to clarify this, something's wrong. Something like it's an issue. And if all he would have just simply said, you know what? I put out a tweet last night. I apologize. I didn't really understand the significance or the severity of the situation that was going on. And I used a poor choice of words, and I could have reworded it differently. Coach Hayes wouldn't even be on the show today. I'll be over there air frying some chicken wings. But he didn't. He apologized by saying the format of the Undisputed show today ain't gonna be the same to the viewers. And they don't want to feel insensitive because they're doing a show about this young man and his injury. Come on, man. Miss me. Matter of fact, Skip Bayless, one time for your mind. 2 times for your soul. Talk to us, caller. Give us your name, where you're calling from. 305.
What's up, this Wood, man? Checking in.
Wood, what's up with you, baby?
Chilling. I just saw you on here. I said, let me call and give my little 2 cents.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, this how I look at it, man. First of all, we got to start taking this stuff so personal because you got to know the people you're dealing with. And you know, Skip Bayless is never going to apologize. So that's the first thing. Whether right or wrong, that's the person you're dealing with. So, I mean, I understand everything you're saying, but you also got to know who you're dealing with. Second of all, to the first point, you got to know that even though there are rules don't apply to everybody.
Okay.
And you got what I'm saying. So so some rules apply to others. Like you said, you couldn't go in there and do what the other person was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to leave it like that. Also, just check out that text I sent you too, man, about the soccer players. That's so you can see what Buddy was talking about. I'm going to put that on.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know anything. He brought it up. I don't know anything about it, but I definitely checked out the thing you just said. I'm looking at it here now. Well, you know, they already said this about soccer. Soccer has more concussions, you know, per player than even football.
Yeah, but it's something unrelated to that. That's why I didn't want to put it really on air. Just for your info. And
Sure.
if you want to discuss it, you can discuss it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, Wood, you know this, dog. You home team, dog. I always appreciate you, man, as always, man. We got 462 people in the building. I appreciate it, man. Hit the like button, subscribe button, man. We're going to make it happen. But I appreciate you, dog. Appreciate it.
All right, now. Yep.
Yeah, yes, sir. All right, we got another call in the building already. 414. I have no idea what that area code is. Give us your name, where you're calling from, as well as, do you agree or disagree that Skip should have or did apologize? Do you take that as an apology? Or just what's your thoughts, man?
Okay, my thoughts is this, Coach. Thank you. And my name is Old School. I'm from Chicago.
Chi-Town, baby. Talk to me. Harold's Chicken. Let's go.
All right, Coach. Thank you, Coach. Hey, Coach, and I caught you when you did your show on that company. I saw when you had talked to about Deion Sanders about the thing. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't like that. I saw that. I caught that when you announced that. Then I caught that show, and caught your comeback when you realized too that you got that other end. I caught that show too. So I be watching you, so, Coach. I stalk you, Coach. I'm stalking you out here.
I appreciate it.
Right back to, okay, yeah, hey, no problemo. Look, I'm gonna get back to what we were saying about you were saying what that other caller said. He said he's right. You know, Skip Bayless played them games. He played that shock jock game. And when those people called him and said, "Look, Skip, explain yourself," he had already explained himself to them, and that's what he's standing on. He's standing on that right. He can do that shock jock stuff because it draws people. He can, and it's like that President Trump syndrome type thinking. I can say this, and I stand on it, and my people gonna stand with me. You understand me? And that's that bad. That's a bad example because that's somebody you lead somebody down the block, but you just getting views. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Shannon mad at him. Oh, Skip really going out now. He just called everybody named mama's name. Now he don't even want no remorse about. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. I ain't gonna go long, Coach. I ain't gonna go long.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
That's that shock jock. That's what that is. He want to be the next shock jock, and he don't care whom he insults or whom it is, and he ain't gonna apologize for it. It wouldn't make sense to.
Nah, but you're 100% right, man. You're 100% right, sir. Like I said, at the end of the day, man, bro, is that we just have to make sure that we hold people accountable. We can't give people pass because we say, "Oh, that's him." That doesn't fly, bro. because we can't do that to everybody else. We can't go out there. I can't go out and do this, and they say, "Oh, that's just Coach Hayes." Nah, not in that kind of way. And again, this is repeatedly where you constantly disrespect people. You constantly belittle people. You understand? And here's what the thing that I forgot who I put up there. I forgot the person I put up there for the comment. But I think this is more of the straw that broke the camel's back in the sense of, all right, dog, enough. You're going too far, bro. You had it in with all these other people. You belittle these people. You try them just because they don't play to your standard. You could call them names, this, that, and the other. Yeah, you don't have to apologize. But anybody else does it, they got to apologize. You know what? And to Wood, that's my dog. But until we decide we ain't going to take it no more, Skip's power come from viewers and viewership. If people stop watching, no, just because you put a little chain on that Lil Wayne gave you and you wear some Jordans and they call you Drip Bayless, matter of fact, hold your chin, slap his chin, get him up out of this crap, man.
Thank you, Coach. Hey, Coach, but I'm going to tell you something. I appreciate you, though. I appreciate everything you're doing out here, Coach.
Thank you, bro.
Keep up the good work, young man.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, man.
And I'm gonna keep watching. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, Coach. Look here, I'm gonna tell you something. Look here, the time and age is changing right now. Do you know the LeVar Balls and the Deion Sanders and what's the name? The Kid Austin, his father, the Schofields of the world, Kid Austin Schofields of the world. They parents, they taking charge of their kids, and they got them out here doing the right thing, not the wrong thing. So sports is going to go up. The fanship and everything is going up.
Definitely.
So I totally bag you as far as realizing this is going on in this type of sports.
Right.
You understand me?
Totally.
And be aware of it, because there's a lot of us out here that's in it and getting played in it too, and get paid in it if they play their cards right. Back to you, Coach, and I'm gonna let you go.
Appreciate it, baby. Thank you so much, man.
Yep.
All right, now.
Have a good day.
You too, man. Hey, man, Happy New Year. All right, man, good call right there. We got a full 5 on the line right now. Guys, we got 433 people in the building. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to subscribe, if you notice, I put the subscriber button up there because the robots kill us. Robots are not subscribers, so therefore they can't come here with all the little porn talk and all that weird stuff. So all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button. It's free. All you gotta do is click the button. Hey, that'll cost you nothing. Coach Hayes giving out free New Year free subscribe buttons. So go ahead and hit that thing in there. But I totally appreciate Shai's point that just called in. And I understand. I got another call on line 405 area code. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
Man, first off, shout out to you, Coach. Man, I'm listening to you. I was just watching YouTube and I seen you having this topic. I said, man, I want to chime in on it like so much. So, man, I'm gonna go on and start here.
Real quick before you start, what's your name? What's your name?
Man, my name is Chris. Man, I'm from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, baby.
Yes,
all right. The Red Dirt Boys.
Yes, sir.
Talk to
me. That's right. So, man, like, Skip been doing this for years. Man, I've been watching Skip for years, not like that, but just because of First Take, right? Mm-hmm. And so I remember the first time, man, that he got on here. I mean, he got on there and he was trying to disrespect people, and Jalen Rose got on to him, you know. And then, man, I forgot my man's name from Seattle. That was the cornerback. He got on to him.
Richard Sherman.
Richard Sherman. Then, man, the Mark Cuban got on to him, you know.
Wow.
And then, so these people get on to him, but then I had to realize something when him and Shannon got into it. And it was an episode that he had said something about when he hangs out with his Jew friends, when he goes golfing, when he go golfing with them. He remember it was the Kyrie situation. And he was feeling like all the Jews felt like his Jew friends felt like Kyrie really disrespected him, and Kyrie really didn't do nothing but just put up a link. But he felt like it was so disrespectful for him to even put that link up and stuff like that. And then he turns around and says something like that to Shannon, and then turns around and does something like this. Why come nobody's telling him, you know what, why don't you pay these people some money? Because you were so adamant about Kyrie paying people money that I think it was like $10,000 or I don't know how much it was. But
500,000.
500,000, excuse me. So I feel like Skip should pay this money to that man's family for being so disrespectful, because this is what he wanted Kyrie to do. And like I said, Kyrie didn't do anything for the exception of just put up a link. And so he decided to say this on a tweet. How very inconsiderate is that to somebody who could have possibly lost their life on live TV?
And here's the point.
That's the way I look at it, Coach.
And here's my point. I want to be clear when I say this.
Okay.
The tweet within itself is not bad if you look at a regular injury.
Correct.
But now that you have more information, this is where my problem happens. Now that you have learned of new information, I don't know when he tweeted that versus what he was watching on TV versus, like the timing. It could be minutes. It could have been like an injury and the commentators are talking, because the commentators don't really know. They're looking down in the booth, looking down. That's why I'm not blasting him really about the tweet. If you notice, the title of the show is The Apology. I'm not killing him about the tweet. I'm killing him about the apology towards the tweet, because now that you have new information, bro, it's nothing wrong with saying I jumped the gun. It may seem a little insensitive. That was not my intent. My prayers are up for the young man, and he did all that. But there's a key component that's missing. The I'm sorry, I apologize for. But when you watch his thing, he says, I apologize for this show not being the way you typically see it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm apologizing because you guys may think we are insensitive. He's not apologizing for saying, wait a minute. Even though he said it's irrelevant at the end, but the first three sentences overshadow the very last piece. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Somebody kind of backtracking on a bunch of stuff, and at the end they say, I'm sorry.
No, I completely agree. I mean, man, and that was like one of the first things that I was thinking to myself, like when the show came on, because I wanted to see how they was going to do it and if Shannon was going to show up. And so when I didn't see Shannon, then he told the commentator lady, he wished that it could have been better. I'm thinking to myself, like, you're trying to show empathy now because you messed up. You know you messed up. Right. And so you trying to make it like you care about this man's family and stuff like this, when in reality, you could care less because it said it on your tweet that you just want to see who was going to win the game and they shouldn't postpone it. So that's the way I'm looking at it, all the empathy that he is not showing. And like I said, it goes right back to like when he got into it, like with Shannon. There was no, hey, man, I apologize. I probably shouldn't have went there, or nothing. Anything like that.
You know what his response was? Brothers fight. That's all he said.
Exactly.
Can I tell you something?
But how many times have Shannon got on the show and was just like, I may have got a little bit too passionate, and that's right there. And it ain't even remotely along the same lines of what this is. But he's got on there and be like, hey, like I've shown, like I may have got a little bit upset or something like that. Most people do that, just to show like, hey, I got a human decency, or the way that I came across, that ain't the way that I was really trying to come across. So I apologize for that, because I kind of like got out of character, right?
Yeah.
So nobody, but it's just like it feels like he's immune to that, because I feel like the way that he feels that he has power.
So here's my last thing. I'm gonna say this because when Shannon said, "Oh, brothers fight," let me say this. Chris, right, from Oklahoma, am I correct?
That's right. That's right.
Chris, me and you grew up. You were adopted into the family at a baby, 1-2-year-old, whatever.
Right.
We've grown up. We now 15, 16 years old. We get into a fight. We mad. And I say, That's why you was adopted. This ain't even your real parents. That's a low blow, bro.
Right.
And I come back and just simply say, instead of apologizing, I just simply say, hey, brothers fight. Whether you apologize, what I'm saying is, that's the kind of stuff that Skip does, dog. Like, he kick you in the nuts. And that's the bad part about it. Like, yeah, brothers do fight. Hey, brothers fight, but he stops there. Instead of saying, you know what, brothers fight. I went a little bit past the line. I shouldn't have done that. And to Shannon Sharp, I apologize for my comments. You were a great player in the NFL, irrespective of your position as a tight end. You are a gold jacket wearing player. No, none of that.
At all.
All he says is brothers fight. And here's the worst part. You could see the hurt. You could literally see the hurt in Shannon Sharp's face when he said that. And it is not the fact that Tom Brady a better player or whatever, but the fact
where it came from.
You're mad because he's 45 and still playing, and you had to retire at 35. You're just jealous, and he's a better player than you. What? Like, dog.
Let me tell you, Coach, let me tell you when I really knew. You know, us as black folks.
Put your glasses back. Hold on. Put your glasses back on.
Wow. You know, to me, that was a form of control. But us also, man, like as black folks, you know, when we get upset, when we go in that high voice. And then you got to think how many times Shannon went into that high voice. You know, like,
yes,
but
sir.
Yeah, man. But Coach, man, I ain't gonna take up nobody's time. I had to call like 8 or 9 times, you know, man, just to get on here. So, Coach, man, I appreciate you.
Thank
man.
You,
I'm definitely gonna subscribe to your channel, man. And you have a good one and a blessed one, man. You and your family.
You too, man. Happy New Year to you, man. Prosperous year for yourself and your family as well, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy, bro.
Thank you. Man.
All right.
All right, great call right there. We got another 424 on the line. Give me 1 second. Do a little housekeeping. We got 519 in the building. That's actually my birthday, so I appreciate it. May 19th is my birthday. That was actually we actually got monetized on that day on my birthday. 45 days after we started the show. April will be 3 years. Coach A's football has been online this year. Coming up, some good things coming on. We're expanding this platform. We got a lot of good stuff coming up. So I appreciate everybody that came through. If you notice in the comment section, it says subscribers only. We're trying to keep out the robots. So when you start seeing all that stuff with people selling stuff or some of the X-rated sites, those are robots. How you keep them out is by using the subscriber, right? I would love for you guys to subscribe. It's free. Coach Hayes giving out free subscribe buttons for 2023. Go ahead and hit the button. It costs you absolutely nothing. But, you know, as I say this, I'm still waiting. Nobody yet. Hopefully this next caller is from 424 area code is going to go against what I'm asking. I see in the comment section, a lot of people are saying, what does he need to apologize for? I want someone to come on here. Let's talk. Let's have a dialogue. We're going to handle it like gentlemen or adults, whether if it's a lady that calls in. But I want somebody to say, why doesn't, as my man used to say on the internet, prove me wrong or change my mind, rather. Change my mind why Skip Bayless should not have to apologize for the tone deafness or the insensitivity of his tweet at the time, which was so dire. I tried to get my dog AG to call. He ain't calling in. That boy, you know, he a Kappa, so he out there swinging his cane right now. But anyway, call and talk to us, 424 area code. Where are you calling from and what is your name? Do you agree, disagree? Talk to us.
Hi, Coach. My name is Mike. I'm actually in Jacksonville, Florida. And, you know, I watch Skip and Shannon quite a bit. And I think I used to host the Jim Rome. It was like 20 years ago.
Hold on, Mike. Your phone was going out just a little bit, so we missed after your name in Jacksonville. So talk to us again.
Okay.
Mike?
I can remember when Skip. Can you hear me? Yep.
Nah, it sounds like you're in the transfer portal, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go outside. I'll see if I get better reception. Just give me a
Yeah,
second.
go outside, because if you hang up, you might not get back in.
Yeah, it's busy. I tried calling a bunch of times. Busy.
Thank you, man. Hey,
good show today.
that means we're doing some good stuff, man. Talk to me, baby.
Okay, I'm outside. Let me know if the reception's bad. That's okay. I can hang up and just listen. But
No, go for it. You're good.
I watched those. I think the football game.
Mike, I'm so sorry. Mike, I'm so sorry. It's dying. I don't know. We get talk like that. That's what it sounds like.
We'll try another time, buddy. We'll try another time.
No. I think you got a very good point. I feel like you got a very good point, Mike. This is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang up. I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to find a location. I don't care if you got to go hold on to a car antenna. I'm going to call you back because I think you sound like a guy who's going to have a very good point. Do you agree or disagree with my point? Do you agree or disagree?
I'm trying to give Skip the benefit of the doubt is what I'm getting at, and just trying to give him a little bit of breathing room, although maybe he doesn't deserve it, but I'm just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
All right, so I'm going to give you 3 minutes. Go find a location, and I'm going to call you back at this 424 number, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to hang up on him for a second, but I got to go. I got to keep pushing. All right, caller, talk to us. Give us your caller. I ain't got anybody on the line. I'm so used to saying it. 539 in the building, man. I appreciate it. Phone line is open 321-328-8235. Go ahead and call in. Guys, if it's busy, keep calling. Don't stop till you get enough, in the words of Michael Jackson. I want to hear somebody's point of view. Somebody said they were trying to call in before, that they disagree with me, but they tried to call in. I definitely want to hear that. Shad in the building. Listen, if you're not up on Shad 1419 or 1419, I'm not sure how he says it. He has a YouTube channel. Go type that in. Go subscribe to my man. He's on it. All right. Phil, what's up with you, baby? What's going on, man? We got to get some more callers in. I need people to call in. He might have to call right back. I'm about to call him in a second. T. Hines, one day, T. Hines going to call in, and my producer, Ellen, going to call in. Miss Wilcox calls in for the ladies. I don't hardly ever get ladies on this show. I would love to get a lady's perspective. I would love to get a woman's perspective on this show. All right. I'm also put somebody else out there who might be watching. I ain't talked to him in a minute. Jay Mills. Jay Mills, hope you listening. Huh? I want to get a woman's perspective on this deal right here. Okay. So hopefully they'll call in here in a second. Big shout out to Shad 199. Coach would have tweeted that if that was Tebow. Ooh, I don't know what you mean. Coach, would he have tweeted that if that was Tebow? Ooh, great question, because I know he loves Tim Tebow. I know he loves Tom Brady. That's a good call. That's a good call. I don't know, Shad. I have not a clue, Shad. Would he have tweeted that? That's a great question, you know. And as the saying goes, what do you say? If what I don't know. I know the one I know. If my aunt had, she'd be my uncle. Y'all fill in the 4-letter blank. All right. Call and talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from. 504. I know what that is from Master P. That's that Louisiana boy. Talk to me.
Well, hello, man. This is Eric, man. I was calling about the situation with Skip, man. I was just like, he's been doing this for a while, and then too, like I said, the whole Kyrie situation, man. He crucified Kyrie, bro. Just for
your phone kind of echoey. I don't know if it's on speaker or what.
Nah, it ain't on speaker.
Okay.
But yeah, he just for Kyrie posting something on his Twitter feed, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that Skip have a way with him, like he always want to assassinate the black athlete, black man, you know what I'm saying? And we don't call him out enough on it. He should be called out for it, and I think he should be fired.
Yeah, I don't think they'll fire him. You know, Skip has a lot.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. Of course they're not. But if it was the other way around, they'd have got rid of Shannon.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, there's the other way around. I guarantee you they got rid of Shannon. Shannon, you know what I'm saying? He wanted Kyrie to pay for classes or take classes for insensitivity, but that was so insensitive and disrespectful for what he said, man. Like, come on, man, ain't nobody worried about football, man. This guy life is on the line, man. He could have died. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what's more insensitive than that? You worry about a game, man. Those players' lives are more important than the football game.
Sure enough.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing is, man, we got to stop giving these white people like him a pass, bro, because they didn't want to give Kyrie a pass at all. Look at all what Kyrie had to go through just for posting something on his Twitter. A post, bro. A post. Why are we making a difference for Skip and all the other ones that's like that? Why are we going to make a difference for them?
Valid point. You got a valid point. So I appreciate it, dog. As always, man, I'm going to keep this thing rolling, man.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, man. Good talking with you.
Appreciate you for calling in. Thanks a lot, brother.
Yes, sir. All right. Move on.
All right. All right. If I don't get a call here in 2 seconds, I'm going to call 424 back because I think he got a valid point. Oh, shoot. Did I lose it? Oh, no. Did I lose it? Where did he go? But anyway, I mean, people are bringing up some valid points, right? The what ifs. You know, what if this person did that? What if that person did this? But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about the what ifs. I'm simply, truly, and honestly looking at. I'm just saying, if you did this, right? If you did this, and you found out new information, nothing wrong with apologizing. Like when I brought up to, I forgot the brother from Baltimore. I think it was Black from Baltimore. I asked him if he ever been in the club, and you step on somebody's foot. The right thing to do is to say, hey, bro, I apologize. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. You didn't intend on stepping on the guy's foot. It's crowded. It's whatever. You in the moment. You dancing. You step on somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. Boom. There's no issue. It's the same thing here. You jump to it early. The format of the tweet was kind of tone deaf. And there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I apologize for how it may have come off, but that was not my intent. I was simply, so in that same clarification that he did about the tweets, he could have just simply apologized in the process, and he refused to do so. I think I got my man back on 424 area code. Give us your name, where you calling from. Mike from Jacksonville, I believe.
Yes, it's Mike from Jacksonville. Hopefully we've got better reception now, Coach.
You sound perfect, man. Talk to me.
Well, I'm trying to give Skip the benefit of the doubt and just to give the context. And I know that I think his social equity, like you said, has dropped a lot recently with the Shannon thing from a few weeks ago about Brady and all that. Mm-hmm. So I think people are not giving him any breathing room, or, you know what I mean? And for me, when the commentary on the TV last night, I could be wrong. Maybe it was my own imagination, but I thought that even the commentators were kind of speculating like, wow, this is a difficult situation. This is a Monday Night Football game, the second to last week of the season. If they were to, maybe I was just thinking this, but if they were to postpone the game, they might just have to take that game off the record altogether, because how are you going to squeeze it in, heading into the last week of the season? It's very difficult. So I think Skip, what I think is like he was tweeting out loud. Like he's just kind of thinking of all these ramifications. Like, okay, this is unprecedented territory to cancel a game right at the beginning of it, which, yes, it's just football, but it does have major playoff implications for both teams, Buffalo included, as far as looking at it in a bye, because there's only one team that gets a bye. So we're not even talking about home field advantage. So in the context of football, there's something to be said for worrying or being concerned or just curious what's going to happen to this game if it's postponed. And I think with a guy like Skip, who's whatever he is, 60 or 65 years old, he's kind of he even said it in his apology today. He tweets, but he doesn't follow Twitter.
Hold on, let me go back, Mike, not to stop you. Let me go back, because you just said something very important, not to interrupt your thought. But you said he said it in his apology. What was his apology? Because I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I was talking about on the show this morning. You're right. He was apologizing for
maybe we shouldn't even be doing this show. And I hope that I can get through this show and all that stuff, which, it was a very awkward thing.
He made it about him. He made it all about him. About, first of all, them crocodile tears that never, that.
Right.
What I'm saying is, so when people use the word his apology, that's what this show came about. I didn't start. I could have started this show at 8:00 this morning when it came out about his tweet. I didn't. I did this show based on his apology. That's why it says Skip Bayless did not apologize for his tweet to Damar Hamlin, because he did not apologize. But when they throw the word up there, Skip Bayless apologizes. But who did he apologize to? He basically apologized to the viewers of Undisputed, because it's going to look different than what they're normally used to seeing. So I just want to make that clear. That's what this show is really about. But okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So it's more like an
I
explanation
apologized.
or an excuse than an apology. And here's the thing, just to kind of go into the weeds a little bit. Then your issue is really with the headline writers who are saying Skip apologized, or you know what I mean. Like if the people who are writing the website articles and stuff about Skip's apology or excuse or lack of apology, if they're using the word apology, that's more on them than on Skip.
I can agree with that, Mike. I totally agree with you. But that's but see, I don't hold Skip accountable for what other people write. I'm holding Skip accountable for what he wrote. And those writers, who I will now hold accountable, need to stop saying he apologized, because it has the implication that he apologized to the family for the tweet. That's not what he apologized for.
Yeah, and at times I think with Skip, because he's covered sports for so long, sometimes he starts to think that he's an athlete, like he's one of the boys, he's in the locker room. And I think even with the Shannon thing a few weeks ago, that was pretty evident. Like Skip gets a little too casual or comfortable, or he starts to feel like he's this swag type of guy, or Drip Bayless or whatever. He starts to get a little bit too comfortable and relaxed, and forgetting that he's the reporter, the outside looking in, which is fine because his opinion is good sometimes, and he does have some insights. But sometimes it seems like he wants to be more one of the guys than reporting on the guys that are actually playing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I go with that. I mean, I'm with you. I just, like I said, at the end of the day, Mike, I mean, I just said my piece. I'm just waiting for somebody to come back and says, I want somebody to tell me why he should not have apologized. And I'm waiting for a call.
Sure.
Go ahead. No, you good.
I guess I'll go back to that. Yeah, when I would go back to that is the initial tweet of concern, the one that ends with the "so irrelevant." I think it's kind of like one of those. Was it like a Rorschach test? Like different people will see different things. Because when I see that tweet, my emphasis is he's saying that the playoffs, the seeding, all the stuff that normally people would care about because of this Monday Night Football game, it's so irrelevant at this point. Like that's the emphasis for the tweet on me. It's not that I didn't feel it like he was, like the lady before said, that he's pushing for the next man up mentality. I'm just saying that I interpreted his that tweet, that aforementioned tweet, as being, okay, let's postpone this, or if you do postpone it, what are you going to do? Because we're at the end of the season, and unless you're going to switch all the games of the playoffs, and I think the last time they had to do that, Coach, was 2001 after 9/11. I mean, this is a league that didn't cancel the games after JFK was shot. So this league doesn't particularly like to reschedule based on hotels and based on everything they've got booked and blah, blah, blah. So I think he was just kind of, like I said, thinking out loud in the manifestation of tweeting out loud. Okay, postpone the game, but what are you going to do? I think that's just him thinking out loud. But unfortunately for him, he put it in the form of a tweet and offended everybody.
And Mike,
a lot of people.
And Mike, you're 100% right. Again, I'm not blasting him for the tweet. I'm blasting him for the lack of apology for the tweet, because again, he thought out loud. He made a mistake. Coach Hayes make mistakes. Guess what? As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm cool with that.
Right.
But I don't have a problem apologize. Here's my problem. Because the tweet is not clear, because the tweet is left up to interpretation, when your own bosses at Fox have to say, hey, you need to make some clarifications to what you just said, that right there shows me that it's not clear what I was trying to state. So therefore you apologize for the lack of clarity in your statement and clear it up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying, see, the problem with this whole deal is it's left up to interpretation, like most things are.
Right.
If I went out there, Mike, and said, hey, it's a nice day outside, most people can look at that and say, it's a nice day. But if I say, whatever, and people are going at me both ways, if it's 50-50, that means something wasn't clear. So therefore, I look at what people are saying about it. I look at what other people are saying about it. And I said, well, wait a minute. For those that didn't, the same way he apologized to the people for what the show was about to happen. See, he apologized for what the show was going to be. He apologized before it actually happened about what the show was going to look like. Instead of saying,
I wonder if anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder if anybody thinks, is he kind of subconsciously or subtextually apologizing for Shannon not being there? And given what happened a couple of weeks ago with their, the Brady incident, do you think it's possible that
Mike,
that combined with this?
I'm going to say that. Be clear. But all you have to do is say, you know what? I'm apologizing. But be clear. Stop talking to innuendos. Stop talking where it's subjective. Listen, I'm apologizing for what happened. I'm going to your point of what you're saying. I'm even apologizing. My brother Shannon Sharp is not here right now. He's upset about the situation and what we went through. This is now carried over to this tweet. Stop talking in riddles, like riddle me this. That's my point, is that's a person that doesn't want to admit they're wrong when they can't say clearly, I was wrong. If I came on here right now, Mike, and called you a mother lover, and I'd be like, well, you know what, man, Mike, I apologize, man. You took it that way.
Right.
Instead of me saying, Mike, you know what? I shouldn't have called you that. I apologize, man. Do you mind? We can move on. That's being clear and concise with my apology and my message. But if I say, Mike, man, I apologize. You took it that way. Is that truly an apology?
No, that's putting on the other person. I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Like when people say, I'm sorry if I offended you, or I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings.
Come on.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Skip has a pride issue. He's too prideful, and I think that was evident with the Shannon, kind of half-assed apology a few weeks ago, and now with this, he's got too much pride and not enough humility at these situations, and I think it's catching up to him now.
I agree. But Mike, thank you, man. I'm glad I had a chance to call you back. I had a feeling you were gonna have a good point of view on this, man. But I'm still waiting for somebody to talk me off the ledge. So I need somebody to call in, man. We're gonna go 2 hours. We got literally 27 minutes left to make it happen. But thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate you.
Okay, have a great day, man. Thank you.
You too. Bye now. All right, we got another call on the line, 541. Give me 1 second, caller. We got 587 in the building. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get the algorithm jumping. Let's talk about this. I hope this next caller is here to talk me off the ledge. In reference to Skip Bayless did not apologize for his tweet about Damar Hamlin and the injury, or to his family. In reference, he more apologized about how the show was going to look going forward for today's show. 541 area code caller, talk to us. Give us your name. Where you calling from?
Matt from Eugene, Oregon.
Say that again. You got to speak a little louder.
Oh, this is Matt from Eugene, Oregon.
Matt from Eugene, Oregon. All right, talk to us, man.
So the way I took it is he didn't apologize, but he basically said we're all dumb for taking it the wrong way.
Explain, please.
That's how I think.
Explain.
So, like you were saying before, when you apologize, you say you're sorry for what you did. I didn't mean it this way. if it came across wrong, but he was in my opinion, he said that that he didn't mean it this way, but you guys took it the wrong way. And he never really clarified what exactly it was that he was trying to say, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that he as a guy who puts his foot in his mouth a lot and has to apologize a lot, that wasn't an apology in my opinion.
Because usually when you apologize, you acknowledge the things that you have done.
Exactly.
And you say, I did this, I did X, Y, and Z. I apologize for that. That's not what he did. And I played the apology on here. You know what I mean? So, and Nat from Oregon, man, you an Oregon fan?
No, I'm actually from Ohio originally, so big Ohio State fan.
All right, Ohio State, man. That field goal, bro. I thought y'all had it, man. But let me ask you this. Do you watch the show a lot?
Yeah, actually, I've only seen you one other time, so I just subscribed, to be honest with you.
I need you to subscribe because guess what? You know we do breakdowns on here, the top athletes. Ohio State fans do a lot. My Miami fans, Alabama, got a lot of good fans. But, man, thank you so much, man, for checking us out, Nat, all the way from Oregon, man. So I appreciate you, man. I really do appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. All right, man. Come on. We got some callers calling in. Anybody else like to? I'm still waiting. We've been on an hour and 37 minutes, and nobody has talked me off the ledge yet. Everybody's in the chat. What does he need to apologize for? What does he need to apologize for? But nobody has told me, nobody talked me off the ledge to make me see it another way. And one thing about Coach Hayes, if I'm wrong, I ain't got no problem apologizing. I have no problem in saying, you know what? I didn't look at it that way. I didn't look at it in that light. So guess what? If you could talk me off the ledge, talk me off. 501 area code. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you calling from.
My name is Apollo Harris, and I'm calling from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas. So talk to you. Said Apollo Harris?
Yeah, Apollo Harris, yes.
All right, talk to me.
I guess I just got a question for you because matter of fact, I watched the game last night, and I try to keep up as much as possible. So my whole question is, okay, considering this is what this guy does on a regular basis, then if he didn't apologize previously, what makes y'all think that he's going to apologize now? Now, and then I also look at the simple fact that, because I even saw the clip that he did this morning, and he talked about the whole deal when President Kennedy was assassinated and they played football, the following Sunday. And then I'm looking at other injuries that has happened in football where players have had to be carried off on the stretcher. And the game continued, right? Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, I hate it for that young man, right? But, I'm just like, what makes this particular game so special especially when every time that you step out there on that football field, it's a 50-50 chance that you may not walk off that football field. This is something that every NFL player, once they sign their name on the bottom line, they know this going in. And so for me, right, I just take people for who they really are. Just like I said, when he had that spat with Shannon Sharp, he didn't apologize. So what makes y'all think he's going to apologize now? This is how this guy is. Everybody's calling for his head. But just know this, Skip Bayless ain't going nowhere. He is not going anywhere.
So to your point, what makes people think he's going to apologize? There's nothing. But what happens is there's enough is enough. And what we're saying is, to the earlier comment I put up, I'm not sure if you saw this, it is almost I'm gonna just call it the OJ effect, where OJ did all that time about his memorabilia that was stolen from him. Right. Nobody in the world deserves that, but he really paid the price for the Nicole murder. You understand what I'm saying? Right?
I got you.
So it's the same thing with this. If this was his only incident, I probably wouldn't have been on here. But it's a culmination of all of these incidents, and they're starting to happen more frequently. So that's what's happening to Skip Bayless right now. It's not the fact that Skip Bayless said this. Just 2 weeks ago, he had a spat with Shannon Sharp. Just previously with Jalen Rose. It's becoming a habit in that sense. And people and because you're talking life or death, not just subjective talk, this was the wrong tweet of the wrong time. And it's one of those things that the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like sometimes the lesser offense is bigger than the bigger offense because it's a culmination of everything, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, wait a minute. This dude got off on this. He got off on that. He got off on this. He got off on that. He got off on this. Scarface, for example. How did Scarface go to jail? How did Scarface go to jail?
Oh, well, yeah, he was, with them drugs or whatever. And then,
nope.
Eventually he got caught.
Nope.
Okay. It's been a while since I watched it.
He went to jail because of tax evasion.
Yeah, okay.
His tax evasion, the penalty he paid for that tax evasion, he also paid for the killing of people, the racketeering, all of the other stuff that he constantly got off on. When we finally get a chance to get him, we're going to give him everything we can because of all the other times he got off. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what's happening to Skip right now. Skip is getting piled on because of all of the other crap he's been doing for years and years and years and got away with. And now people are saying enough is enough.
Yeah. Just like say, I trust me, I get what you're saying, and just like say, this is something that has been going on with this guy for I don't know how many years, but the thing about it though is this.
Al Capone, Scarface. Yes, I'm sorry. Listen, I said Scarface, but yes, Al Capone. So yes, I am. Yeah. When I said Scarface, I'm talking about Al Capone, not the rapper.
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm saying, but somebody put in the comment, which thank you for clarifying, and I apologize for not making that clear. See how simple that is. See how simple, but see how simple that is. I said Scarface. Hold on, I said Scarface. So now I left it up to. Is he talking about the rapper Scarface? Is he talking about the Al Pacino Scarface, or is he talking about Al Capone Scarface? So what did I do? Man, you know what? You're 100% right, Adrian. I apologize for clarification. I was talking about Al Capone Scarface went to jail for tax evasion, but they bammed his head for all the other stuff that they couldn't catch him on. They finally got his head for this. So yes.
Yeah. But because I know you probably got some other people.
Sure.
Say the piece. But I tend to look at it. I tend to look at people like Skip Bayless like this, right? I just look at it like this. If like this, if they fire him, then yeah, it'll be okay. But I think that they keep Skip around just for ratings and nothing else because they already know he gonna come on there and say something that he ain't got no business saying.
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna piss people off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like, okay, because who's to say if this is how Skip really feels?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure it is. But at the same time, I just feel like, okay, well, hey, look, a lot of this is some truth in it, but I think a lot of it too is for ratings. And this is my first time. This is my first time watching you. You just came across my news feed.
Wow.
While I was skipping through YouTube, so I was like, "Oh, you live? So let me call and see if I can actually really get on." So
there it is.
I will indeed subscribe to your channel.
Thank you, brother.
I really like it when I can act like when somebody can act like really give a number, and then you can act like the people can ask me to come in and give their piece.
Well, I appreciate it. Honestly, man, that's the YouTube guys. You got through right on time. I appreciate it. We got a lot of people who call in. Some people say I had a fake number. So you are a prime example that if you are persistent, you can get through on this number. Some people say, Coach, the same people get in all the time, but they don't realize them same people call 25 times in a row. So, brother, thank you so much for calling in, man.
Well, yeah, I had to call, but because to be perfectly honest, hey, I had to call at least about 3 times before I got you. So
there you go. Yeah, so. There you go. Well, thank you so much, man. We got other callers calling in. And hey, man, don't be a stranger, man. You're more than welcome.
Okay, man. I'll be calling you from time to time.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Appreciate it.
Bye now. All right, we got another 352 in the building. Give me 1 second. We got 555 in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe button. For those who like to leave comments, please know that you have to be a subscriber. We're trying to keep the robots out. The robots are the porn sites and the adult stuff and the credit repair people. They send robots through your chat and it destroys the chat. So they're not subscribers. So if you want to just leave a comment, hit the free subscribe button. Coach Hayes is giving out free subscribe buttons in 2023. In 2022, I used to charge you nothing, but today they're free. Hear what I just said. In 2022, Coach Hayes used to charge you nothing, but today they're absolutely 100% free. All you got to do is click the button and it's all yours. Call or talk to us, 352 area code. What's your thoughts on Skip Bayless? I say he did not apologize, even though he used the words, I apologize. He didn't necessarily apologize. Do you agree or disagree with that?
All right. Hey, Coach Hayes, this is Joshua Alexander. I was one of the ones that was saying
yes,
that I don't think he needs to apologize. So finally got in. So today's price is yesterday's price.
Hold up, Joshua. Hold up.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I'll play that. You want it one more time, Joshua? Hold on 1 second.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Oh, man. That's a good one. That's funny.
Talk to me.
So I don't think he needs to apologize. I don't think you know. Did you see the tweets that he put out before that one that everyone's mad about?
Yeah.
What were they saying?
Nothing.
Were they trying to be rude? Like what if he was saying 3 tweets before, I'm sorry, this is sad, this isn't good, prayers and all that, and then he says one that people don't like, and then right after he says he's not trying to be no type of way, and then he comes on the show and says he's not trying to be no type of way. So that's 4 to 5 different things where he was being, sincere or whatever. And then one out of 5 is 20%, so if he only said that 1 tweet alone, then yeah, but he said before and after that, the guy's stuff, and even that last sentence on that tweet, he was saying his health. So I don't think he needs to apologize.
So what's your name? Joshua, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Joshua, I hear where you're coming from. I'm going to ask you just some simple questions. Can I say 3 things and my last thing I say be something different?
Yeah, you could say 3 things. You could say something that could be misinterpreted, and then you could say 2 more things after that and say, no, you didn't mean it that type of way.
But that's what he didn't do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He never did that. He never said he didn't mean it. That he never came out. See, my thing when it comes to apologizing, and I'm going to put this quote, I know you can't see this, a little delay, but Lonnie says he did apologize, though, just wasn't specific. Well, let's go to public apologies. Let's just go to public apologies. Even Jalen Rose, let's talk about just Jalen Rose and him. Jalen Rose even came out and said, you know what, Skip, I apologize for attacking such and such and such. I can't speak verbatim. But Jalen Rose was specific in his apology to Skip Bayless in his deal. When you apologize, you are specific. I'm not sure, Joshua, if you're married, you got a girlfriend, whatever. But when you but I'm saying when you apologize, you don't say, let's just say, for example, you did something to your lady. I'll leave it generic. You don't say, hey, baby, I'm sorry. Baby, I'm sorry that I'm just leaving. I didn't take out the trash. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be specific in your apology simply because that's what it's all about. You're not going to be generic. And the words he said I'm sorry about was even I'm sorry. He didn't even say, hey, I'm sorry about the tweet and moved on. I'm sorry about how this show is about to look. That's what he apologized for. I'm sorry that this is not the same show that you are accustomed to seeing. And hopefully we don't offend people that think we're insensitive.
Okay, so his last tweet.
Okay, talk to me.
Right
I'm going to pull him up and put him on the screen, but go ahead.
His last tweet, it literally says, I'm sorry if that, nothing's more important to that young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. Literally, he says, I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all what matters. So he didn't say the word apologize, but he said, I'm sorry, that's what that tweet meant. And before the other two, he was saying that that was bad. If you want to read all four things, I just don't like that people could say one thing like that people don't like, but you could see before and after what he wasn't trying to be no type of way. And we got to remember, Skip was the one who brought Shannon on. Skip was the one who brought Stephen A on. Skip was the one that brought Jamel Hill on. That's three different black people who got their boost. Kerry Champion. There's plenty of people that he's helped out, so it's like.
But that still don't give you that. I hear what you're saying. I don't know that because I haven't researched that. I know he had Skip on. I know he had Shannon on. I know he had Stephen A. I don't know about Kerry Champion and Jamel Hill, but I'll take your word as the gospel. Okay. Right. And that's okay. I'm not saying Skip is racist by no means. I've never said that. Not even implying that. There's no implication of that. All I'm simply saying is it's okay to make a mistake and be clear in your result. You want to put this tweet out, but yet you want to do a whole show and not be apologetic about it. I'm trying to get the series of tweets. I'm trying to look them up right now as we speak so I can put them up on the board.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that.
Like,
go ahead.
And the last tweet he put after is, I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. He said, I'm sorry right after. He literally said what you wanted him to say.
Bro, you know what's so funny? I put Skip Bayless Twitter, and they talking about LeBron James. The first thing comes up. Bro, I guess LeBron was trying to – listen, I guess LeBron was trying to get even with Mike Malone, who coached him. Like, these are the tweets that are coming up. Like, it's not even showing the series of tweets to what was just being said. And, of course, I know it has to be trending. But that's amazing, right? But that goes to show you some funny business going on. Like,
right, exactly. So, something's weird with that.
But go ahead. I'm sorry, but go ahead, Josh, because I know you were trying to get in, so I give you time.
And I know some of those people that are quote unquote outraged, they could be ESPN bots. Remember, he's going against ESPN, so if ESPN could find a way to make him look bad, they could have a bunch of accounts saying this and that and double the number that really is what's going on, what people upset. But I think everyone was just emotional last night. And when things get emotional, people just want to find someone to blame. And, he didn't cause the man's injury. 3 out of the 4 tweets were positive towards the situation. So I don't think he needs to. And then for Shannon, everyone say you need to apologize to Shannon. If Shannon was really that mad, he could have walked out right there and then, or he could have did like he did today and not even show up. He showed up that next day to work. If he was that mad, he's more mad about the tweet than what Skip said to him directly.
I can't say that because I don't know why Shannon's out. That's right there. I want to stop that. I want to stop that speculation because I don't know why Shannon is not there today. So we can assume Shannon is not there today because of the tweets. It may be coincidental that he's not there because he had prior arrangements that was probably planned months ago. I'm just only I don't want to put that out there that Shannon Sharpe is not at Undisputed today because of the tweets from yesterday. Because I think that's unfair, right? That, like, to me, that's unfair because we really don't know why Shannon is not there. Why he missed, I don't know. I have not a clue. I'm just simply saying, I can't speak to that. But go ahead, I'm listening.
No, that's fair. What if he comes out tomorrow and said, I had to take a day because of the tweets and this and that? What would you make it? What would you think then?
That's his right. Meaning, hold on, let me, because I have to be honest, I was doing two things. So I am apologizing because I was trying to read this and listen to you at the same time. You're saying that if Shannon Sharpe didn't come to work today because he had to kind of take a cool off period from what was going on, what are my thoughts about that?
Right. If he come and say yesterday was too much, your tweet upset me, then he come back to work tomorrow. But he came back to work he stayed at work and then came back to work the next day when he, personally attacked him. What would that say about Shannon?
Well, this is what I have to say. That's right. I have to say I can't count a man's pockets. I don't know what his financial obligations are. But what I would hope, and again, I don't have a problem holding Shannon Sharpe accountable. But what I would truly hope is that, which I wish he would have done a while ago when it came to their spat, was, bro, you got to hold this man accountable on the carpet the same way because of how he tried him. He tried that man, dog. You wouldn't even try a dude in the barbershop like that.
Right.
I'm talking about the Shannon and Skip deal. You wouldn't even try. Right. Bro, they would have took Skip out back and whooped him. Straight up, dog. Come on, Joshua. You know that, man. Where you from, Joshua?
I'm from New York originally, but I live in Ocala now. So
okay, so you down the street. What I'm saying is, that's when you went too far. Like, we don't mind talking Joneses and, boy, your mama hair so bald they call her smooth operator. That's cool. But then you can go too far with some of the little jokes because you're taking personal shots. You ain't just talking to talk. You're taking personal shot. He took a personal shot. I'm actually mad at Shannon Sharpe for not holding Skip accountable for an apology then. And the reason that I'm so big on the apology, I have to very well say this. Let me move this off the screen so I can get to talking. The reason I'm so big on the apology is because everybody else is so big on the apology. Let's call it a spade up in here, Joshua. Anytime anybody says anything of how they feel, because somebody put that in the comment section, how they feel, why are you mad at Skip? That's how he felt. Where how other people feel, they have to apologize. We can go back to Whoopi Goldberg, who may have misspoke, not knowing that being Jewish is a race and a religion. But she had to apologize.
All right, so
hold on. I want to go down the apology road for a second. Give me a second, Joshua. Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg has to apologize and be suspended from work because it's something that she thought. We just saw Tank. Bro, can I be honest with you? I'm a black male Christian, did not know that Jewish was a race. I knew it as a religion. I just learned that myself. I learned that through Whoopi's fight. Tank was just on DJ Vlad not knowing that being Jewish was a race, Y'all can go look up that interview. Tell DJ Vlad, cut me a check. Second is, other people have other opinions, but yet you have to apologize. And you got to go through a sensitivity training, $500,000, go to the Jewish Holocaust Museum and everything else. But when Leor Cohen can come straight up here as a music executive and tell you to your face, opioid, one of the worst things that ever happened, and blah, blah, blah. And Charlemagne says, would you sign somebody like that? Of course I would. Well, wait a minute. You're not listening to Charlemagne. Talent over issues. And he told you in the same exact sentence, I got a family to feed. I got a business to run. Gotta apologize. Kevin Hart, 10 years ago, made jokes about the LGBT community, which was on par for that time of whatever, right? He gotta apologize. But you could go watch Archie Bunker in the 70s, All in the Family, and they use the N-word. Like, these are the things I'm saying. Nobody has to apologize, bro.
Yeah, I agree with that. How about, let's say Skip said, nothing is more important than the young man's health. That was the point in my last tweet. I apologize if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. So if he says, I apologize if that was misunderstood, but his health is more important, that would have made you
Hold on,
happier,
I got
that would have been good.
I got the tweet right here. Let me go back. I tried to blow it up so you guys can read it. Here it is. Skip apologizes for Damar Hamlin tweet. Shannon Sharp skips undisputed anyway. All right. Let me go back. Let me try to blow it up so you guys can read it.
You should go to the ones before too, so you can get context, not just the.
No, I heard them, but I'm trying to find them, dog. And to me, why is this a treasure, a doggone treasure hunt? Like, why is this not like anything else come out? Boy, you can find anything. Okay, but anyway, this was his original tweet right here. Well, not original, but the third tweet, as you said. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? Bayless tweeted at 9:30 before the game was officially postponed. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. I get it. I'm not even mad at the tweet, but the tweet spawned something, and the tweet spawned a reaction. This is my point. We played that already. I don't have to play that. Bayless, who initial tweets did express concern for Hamlin, was immediately blasted by fans, athletes, sports journalists, meaning his counterparts, former Cleveland Cavaliers player Kendrick Perkins, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go with Des Bryant. I'm going to skip that.
Don't you find it funny that you can only find a tweet that people are mad at that you can't find before and after? It's just to get people upset.
Yeah.
It's not no accident.
That's
media. If you've seen the tweets before and after, you would say, you know what I'm saying? Like, he made one tweet out of four. All three of the before, if that was his only tweet, then you got me. But if he said it before and then after, and then in the middle one, wasn't the best, and he apologized, he literally said, I'm sorry. Or is there a difference between I apologize and I'm sorry to you? Like, is it sorry, the word sorry and the word apologize? Are they two different things, or?
No,
so maybe that's where.
No, it's one and the same. It's about how you use it. Somebody said it's still on his Twitter, so I'm pull up his Twitter account right now. So I'm glad. Thank you, guys.
That. And then once you read that tweet that he said after, take out the word sorry, replace it with apologize. Maybe that will make you.
No.
Not hit him so hard.
No. Listen, one thing about Coach, Joshua, I appreciate it, but one thing I'm gonna tell you is I have to just tell you this straight up, Joshua. I mean, I can understand the difference. and it's one and the same. It's about the context that's being used. That is what it is. But here we go. I'm on his timeline right now. Let me go ahead and share this. And then, Joshua, I appreciate you being persistent and coming on, but I'm going to definitely get this on to the next person. Let me see if I can get
it. So start from the first two before the one people don't like, and then the one after. And then, you make your choice, But I just wanted to say that sometimes people say something, you got to listen to the full context.
Listen, I'm right here. I'm right here. Okay, please join me now. Undisputed 7 hours ago. Nothing more important than the man's health. Okay. So where do you want me to go? Right here? Finally, a team won the toss and went boss. Okay, so right here. This is what you want me to read.
Yeah, from then on, yeah.
All right. Not exactly sure what happened to Damar Hamlin. Players on both teams are shaking. Ambulance out on the field. CPR administered. Can't remember play being stopped for this length of time. Just said a prayer for him and his family. Nothing wrong with that.
Bad or good?
Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. His next tweet. I've seen so many horrific injuries suffered on football fields, yet never have I seen a reaction like this in every other situation I witnessed or covered. The game always went on fairly quickly. The attitude was, hey, that's football. For these players, this was different. Nothing wrong with that. Perfect. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Here's my point. Again, I'm not knocking the tweet. I am knocking how the tweet is being perceived and taking people's feelings and emotions in the check. One thing about being the bad guy, eventually you're going to slip up. When you constantly do these things, those first two tweets, fine. But when you start talking about the game considering postponing, that's where he may have been a little tone deaf. If he would have stayed on the same, if he would have stayed on the same tone as these two right here, guess what, brother? He would have been fine, Joshua. But then he started talking about how now you're making it about the playoffs in the game when you already acknowledged how serious this is. You've just acknowledged that both teams are shaking. Ambulance on the field, CPR being administered, can't remember the play being stopped for this length of time, just said a prayer. So you've clearly acknowledged that, damn, this is serious. Your next tweet, I've seen many horrific injuries suffered on a football field, yet never have seen a reaction like this. That is even furthermore letting you know that this man knows the severity of the situation. The attitude, hold on, wait, Josh. The attitude was, hey, that's football for these players, but this was different. You're 100% right. Then he comes back talking about the cancellation of the game. That's where the tone deafness comes in. But to Skip Bayless's defense, may not have been his intent. I totally agree. That may not have been his intent. But people perceived it that way. People didn't trip on the first two. But people perceived this one. Hold on. But
after they tripped on the first two, did not. They tripped on the third one. 2 minutes later, right, the fourth one, what did he say right after that?
Nothing is more important. Can y'all see? Okay. Nothing is more important than the young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet. I'm sorry if that was misunderstood, but his health is all that matters. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I prayed for him and will continue to. Okay.
So 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
No, man. You ain't playing the odds when you
no,
are.
I'm just saying, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
when you're playing, listen, when you are a seasoned journalist, I believe in my heart of hearts, Skip wrote, like the previous gentleman said, he was talking out loud on Twitter. I get it. I understand that. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, what's wrong with just saying this same exact thing, even in his last tweet? What's wrong with saying that same exact thing on the air? What's wrong with that? Even if he came, hold on, wait. Even if he came out on the air at the beginning of Undisputed and said, man, you know what? There's nothing more important than this game. And there's nothing more important than the young man's health. That was the point of my last tweet, just for clarification. I'm sorry it was interpreted that way. I'm sorry if people misunderstood what I was saying, but his health is all that matters right now. Again, everything else is irrelevant. I pray for him as well, and will continue to pray for him and his family. What's wrong with saying what I just said? Hold on. What's wrong with saying what I just said?
That's pretty much what he tweeted.
Exactly. So that's my point. But why can't he just simply say, that's all I'm saying? Because guess what? When it comes to us, let's call it what it is, Joshua. You got to bow down, kiss the ring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I don't want to go there with that, but this is where we headed. That's all I'm saying. But his apology, that all these headlines are, his apology says, I'm sorry that this show is not going to be what y'all think it's going to be. Come on, man. So that's all I'm saying. But I appreciate you, Joshua. I'll let you get your last word in before I move on, but I got to go.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, thanks a lot, Joshua. All right. Yeah. Hopefully people agree, disagree with that. That's all I'm saying. Anybody else? Shad, what's up with you, baby? Stephen A. Smith had to apologize on multiple. Bro, LeBron James had to apologize. LeBron James had to apologize for using a rap lyric that says, I got that Jewish money, everything's kosher. And not only did he apologize for it, so did 21 Savage. The actual artist apologized. So I don't know. But anyway, Warren, baby, Happy New Year to you, man. Y'all clap it up for Warren in the building.
Happy New Year, my friend. All right, how you doing today?
I'm good, Warren.
I'm fired up.
I'm not fired up.
Right, so
I'm just looking at different ways. So go ahead, talk to me.
All right, so the question to me is not that should he apologize, but should he be forced to apologize?
Well, the only reason you get forced, I have to say this, Warren, the only reason you get forced to apologize is when you are in jeopardy of having things taken away, right? I.e.,
correct.
Nick Saban.
Life
when your livelihood is about to change. That's when you are forced to apologize. They're never going to say, you better apologize. You know what they're going to say? Well, we're going to take Adidas away from you. We're going to take Nike. Nike's not going to be a part of your deal anymore. We're going to take Wild 'N Out away from you. No, you will no longer be on The View anymore. These things, when they start pulling things that create your livelihood away, then you got to make a decision.
So that boils down to the fact then that because I don't think anybody should be forced to apologize, regardless of how asshole-ish they are or how insensitive or rough their comments may be. To whoever, for whatever they say, I don't think somebody should be forced to apologize, because it lets you know the kind of character that person has. And I don't think he should be. I think and let them give him punitive damages by taking him off the show or canceling his livelihood and by the contracts or whatever, however he makes his money. I think it should be let the natural course of events take its course of it, or take its let the stream flow how it may. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand, but the problem is the higher ups of Fox Sports 1 is not going to take anything away, and I think that's kind of what the uproar is. Maybe at least from my perspective, is that he's allowed to do these things repeatedly. This is not the only event. Let's be honest. These are several events that have happened over time. You see it all the time. And again, you're not talking about a man's gameplay. For example, when Chris Bosh went on the show and confronted Skip Bayless, that was a perfect time for Skip Bayless to say, you know what? You're right, man. You are a human being. You do have a family. I shouldn't be calling you Bosh Spice. I can ridicule your game, but I don't have to ridicule you. when Jalen Rose went on there, and see, Chris Bosh ain't had no fight in him. He had that gangster in him to get back. But Jalen Rose called him Water Pistol Pete and got up under his skin. Then he got hot. But even Jalen Rose came back and had to apologize. See, those are the things that happen. But what happens? What happens in this case is he doesn't have to apologize for belittling people. But it sure is funny that Jalen Rose came back and apologized for belittling him. That's the problem, bro.
So let me get this straight. You're upset because some people can seemingly get away with murder, and some people get when they first touch the gun or the knife, they get derailed.
Of course. And that's exactly it. Like you can't live by your set of rules, because I hate to play the what if game, but let's what if this, Warren. What if Shannon Sharp flips the role and says the same thing? You know what he'd have to do? Let's be real. Them same bosses, instead of saying, can you clarify your tweet? Hey, in your clarification, you need to make sure that X, Y, and Z is said in that clarification.
I understand, but what is the root of all of this?
We know where that goes, Warren. We know how this goes, man.
Ratings and money. Ratings and money. It's to get the pot stirred up, because you know what? Now everybody's talking about Skip Bayless and what did he mean, blah blah blah, and it's just advertisement for Fox News, and even bad press is good press for him and for Fox or whoever he works for. I don't know. I haven't liked that guy for about 10 years. So I just happened to see your video on there, and I decided I'd chime in. But I'm opposed to somebody being forced to apologize, because you can see them for their true character. When somebody's opinion is suppressed and they're forced to recant, because there's an old saying that says, someone forced against their will is someone of the same opinion still. So let them be that way and let him dig his own grave. Sometimes when somebody's digging a hole, all you can do is hand them a shovel because they're hell-bent on digging it. So let this guy dig his hole. And Fox News, for that matter, for not just parting ways or whatever they want to do, because what he said and how he reacted or did not react. It's unfortunate sometimes, but that's the one of the things of free speech. Free speech isn't always comforting. Sometimes people are going to say stuff that's super offensive, and I don't think anybody, black, white, sports, athlete, because I don't think anybody should be forced to apologize for something. Because I want people to say what's truly on their mind, so I know exactly where they're coming from. We have that problem in our society. Everybody's being forced to, well, you can't say this, and you can't say that, and you can't say that, and you should say this, and you should say that. And, people can't be honest anymore. And sometimes when they're honest, or like you were saying about him thinking out loud or thinking on Twitter, he gets penalized for it. And I don't think people should be penalized for their opinion, at least not be silenced. Now, if the penalty comes in loss of whatever, loss of subscribers or loss of the show or whatever, hey, that's his fault for being an asshole. But it shouldn't be forced upon him. I don't know if, I probably have an unpopular opinion on this. I don't think anybody's opinion should be forced, or an apology. Excuse me, an apology should be forced.
But Warren,
it's not how they truly. Go ahead.
You're 100% right. I'll say this: when I first started this show, I did a show about law enforcement and athletes. Can they coexist? I don't know if you remember that. That was way back. Had some buddies of mine who were in law enforcement, and we were talking about people getting stopped by the police, how you should handle it, what are your rights. This was way back when I kind of first started, right? Do you know that show, I lost 800 subscribers off of that one show? Now, I know when I talk about subjects like this, people are going to unsubscribe because that's not what they want to hear. They want me to break down videos and just talk about this player that's coming to their college and shut up, Coach Hayes, and just dribble. Shut up and just break down tape. And they're going to unsubscribe, and that's okay. I'm willing to take that because that's not what it's all about for me. There are some other channels that won't even touch this because they don't want to be looked in a different light, and that's okay. That's their philosophy. I guarantee when I go back and look at this show, I'm going to lose subscribers off of this show, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to be forced to apologize. You just have to be willing to deal with the consequences of whatever you say. Kevin Hart,
I completely agree.
Right. Kevin Hart, Whoopi Goldberg, Nick Cannon, Kyrie Irving, all of these guys weren't necessarily made to apologize. But what do? They hit you in the pocket. So now your livelihood changes significantly. So therefore, you have to make a decision. Do I go against my belief, or do I go against my future and my livelihood for my generations to come? Right now, I'll put my beliefs to the back burner so my livelihood can thrive.
And see, that's what the crux of this whole thing is: someone willing to compromise with how they really feel, good, bad, or indifferent.
But that's what they know. But Warren, you know this. When they have you by the financial cojones, that's how they hurt you, by the financial cojones. But what we don't do as people is we're not hurting Skip Bayless by the financial cojones because we're going to continue to watch Undisputed.
Well, I think that they are going to take a nosedive because I heard about the Skip or the Shannon Sharp interaction because I don't watch that show. Because all they do is argue, and I'm like, man, listen, I see enough of that outside of in my life. I don't need an outside force showing me more arguing. So I gave up that show a long time ago. Now I like, and let natural attrition take its way. The guy wants to dig himself a hole, let him dig himself a hole.
Now, you know what, the Warren, man, controversy sells, and that's what it is. But Warren, thank you so much, man. You know, as always, Happy New Year to you, brother, man. We got to definitely get up, man, and chop it up, man. But, you know, it sounds like you're on the road, so be safe out there on that road, brother.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. All right, real quick, for people who donated, I apologize. I was so fired up, I missed them. So to Shad 1419499 says, if Skip were to get fired, he going Rambo first blood off the top. That's funny. Also, JW3, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of the game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular offseason outcome. This is the issue. I know it was some time ago you posted this, and I apologize. It was at 4:52, and it is 5:17. So that's probably, you know, about 20 minutes, I guess, or a little bit longer, 25 minutes ago. So basically, he just retweeted what the tweet, put in the chat what the tweet was in that sense. Again, I apologize. JW3 for $4.99 says, point is, Skip wanted the game to continue on. Skip was empathetic, but had a problem with the postponement. Duh. Okay. And I don't have a problem. Can I be honest? I don't have a problem with that because this is kind of uncharted territory in the sense of you're going to cancel a game because of injury. But my problem is you clearly saw through his previous tweets where he knew something significant was happening, something that has never gone through before was happening. And again, I have to say this again. I'm not mad at his tweet. I'm mad that once people perceived it a certain way, had that same energy. And that's all I'm saying, man. That's it. But we've been out here 2 hours and 24 minutes. 24 minutes longer than I expected. We got another show coming on tonight at 8 p.m. with Don. We're talking about the college football playoffs. We're going to break those down. We're going to talk about a little bit of that. I promise we may just touch a little bit on Skip because Don wasn't on that, but we're not going to spend long. That's why I did this now. So we didn't spend a lot of time on that. But we'll talk about the college playoffs. We'll talk about Jim Harbaugh potentially leaving from Michigan if he gets an NFL offer. We'll talk about Ryan Day saying he's giving up offensive coordinator or play calling abilities to someone else. what is TCU really about to do? So we'll see all that, man. We'll talk about all that here tonight. Ellen, you're in the building. Check your DMs. I'm gonna hit you up here in 1 second on Twitter. Don't be shy. I need people to call in. Here we go. Let me see. Drew said you are mad at the hypocrisy and double standard, which is perfectly fair. And yes, I am. I am mad. You're 100% right, Drew. You're 100% right. You're 100,000, 30,000 million% right that the fact that you can go and say what you choose to these players, if you don't like a person's game, ridicule the game, right? But you call a man Bosch Spice, you do these things. But if somebody in there call you Sucker Bayless, you'll be mad. You see what I'm saying? And you know how to go to the playground. If you're going to talk that trash, you're going to rank somebody, you got to be able to take it. All right? I'm trying to look through a couple of these comments before we get out of here. We got a couple of phone calls. I'm going to take one more before I get out of here. I really appreciate this for everybody who called in, their point of view. You know, I love having these dialogue, love having these talks. But I do want to try to get something to eat before a 5 o'clock show. So you definitely welcome. And again, bro, they can come up with 1,000 ways to fix this game. But shout out to the coaches. We say the NFL, but it was the coaches who made that call. Both head coaches said, nope, cancel this game. Not the NFL. Both coaches said no, and the NFL accepted. So big shout out to the coaches who said, no, wait a minute, this is going too far. You understand? I missed that. I didn't see that. Skip was calling Russell Wilson out of pocket too, you know. And here's the thing. Here's what's funny. Shannon Sharp can talk about Tom Brady, but didn't call him out his name. He ridiculed Tom Brady's game. He don't call him Tom washed up Brady. He didn't say that. Tom can't throw 5 yards Brady. He doesn't say that. He was ridiculing Tom Brady's game as of this year. And Skip gets offended. But Skip will say if Tom Brady wasn't his guy or Tim Tebow wasn't his guy, he'll come up with nicknames to belittle the guy. You understand what I'm saying? That's right there is the problem. That right there is the problem. You understand me? So I'm going to take one more call, 321-328-8235. I guess y'all tired of hearing me talk. So I'm going to go on and shut up and get off the line then if I don't get another call in the next 3 minutes. And we'll definitely get up out this deal. So I said 3 minutes just so it'll be 2 hours and 30 minutes, make it even. But there you go. There you go, G. Paul. Because Shannon respects the athlete and Skip never has. And that's a fact. You're 100% yes. 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 Big talk right there. Birdstone, what's up with you, baby? Uh-oh. This is definitely the last call. Y'all clap it up for my dog.
Happy New Year, Coach Hyatt.
Listen, y'all clap it up for my dog.
Happy New Year, Coach Hyatt.
Yeah, boy, you know I'm finna call you. Listen, man, I've been on here. I don't know how long you've been on here hearing your boy click. But this is my man V12. If y'all don't know who V12 is, he be on here clicking, but talk to me. Am I out of order?
Listen,
Am I out of order?
No, listen. Well, listen, I caught the back end of it. And let me just say Happy New Year to everybody in the chat. I know this is Coaching Me Coach podcast, but 12 had to call. Now, Coach, I know you were coming on as early. I just happened to go on and see you.
Listen, 12,
so
let me tell you, hold on, 12, let me say this. You caught the back end. I was just saying.
Right.
I didn't plan on coming in. We come on at 8 o'clock. Right. I'm sitting here. I'm letting the day go by. Then I hear this apology or lack thereof, in my opinion, from Skip Bayless. All the headlines is Skip Bayless apologized, Skip Bayless apologized. When I go click the video, he's apologizing for what the show is going to look like. He's not apologizing for what was being done. So you know
Correct.
me. All I had to do was click go live, and I went live. So 12, you agree, disagree? I need to slap my own face or what?
No, so let me just get it correct. So I think that, of course, that was not an apology. Even on the very face of that, what he was saying, that was not an apology. He never actually apologized to the young man, and he was more or less apologizing. I think tried to apologize out of selfish reasons, because a lot of the NFL players and on social media and Twitter, he was really getting hammered for being very insensitive. And he did kind of allude to that in the, I would call it quasi apology, but for the most part, he did not apologize. Now, I will say this about Skip. When I saw the initial tweet, I thought that it seemed as though he had it a little backwards. I think he kind of wrote it wrong. I kind of understood what he was trying to say, but I think at that particular point in time, it came out weird. And I'm not excusing him for doing that, because as a 30-year plus journalist, he has to know there's power in the pen and power in these tweets. So in my opinion, he was dead wrong. And he did not apologize. And I think it showed. I think that we don't know why Shannon didn't show up today, but I think Shannon was pretty hurt, like every other player was, every other person was. And anyone who saw that tweet last night was very offended, because guess what? At the end of the day, we're talking about a human being. We're talking about a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you hit it right on the head when you say that individuals like Shannon Sharpe, they have more respect for the game. They kind of approach it a little differently because they've played the game. Shannon Sharpe, and even when you had Ryan Clark was on last night on ESPN, you can see all the former players. They were extremely shook up, and they were able to articulate what was going on, and they looked at it from a different perspective. So at the end of the day, Skip was out of pocket. It's not the first time he's been out of pocket. But I'm glad that people, again, checked him. You know, sometimes he hides behind this situation where he's kind of cool with Weezy, so he thinks he gets a pass on saying certain things. But last night wasn't the time nor place for that tweet, and it was definitely insensitive and unprofessional.
I mean, 100%. And again, this is not a race deal, because Tom Brady himself had to apologize for making a reference or a parallel for going to camp is equivalent to like being deployed in the military. Everybody knows he's not trying to say football is like getting shot at, but what he was trying to say was that you're going away from your family, you're going to be separated. But he even came back and said, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I apologize, because the military plight is way different than the NFL. But that's why I'm trying to tell people, this is not just about Kyrie. But anytime people misspeak, they go out and just do the right thing. Just like I said, if I'm in the club 12 and I step on someone's shoe, hey, bro, my bad, I apologize. And usually that's all to it. That's all. But if I step on a dude's shoe and the dude be like, hey, man, you stepped on my shoe, and I keep walking, it's going to escalate to some bull crap. Now we got to get the toolies out. But if I just simply say, you know what, hey, man, my bad, I didn't know your foot was there, I apologize. Man, most people will walk that off and call it a day. This is all I'm saying from a Skip standpoint. Like I said, Tom Brady apologized because he made a parallel of going to camp as equivalent to being deployed in the military. And he said, you know what? I was just making a parallel, didn't really think about it, because some of these people don't come back from these deployments. Man, I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have. That was probably a bad choice of words, but everybody knew what he meant. Even military dudes weren't offended, but what did he still do? What did he still do, 12? Sorry, I appreciate it.
And you apologize.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like I said, sometimes with individuals, especially Skip, because he didn't play any ball. So all he has is his journalistic professionalism. And he knows what he says, and he knows how that looks and how that feels. And to come on today essentially fake choking up about
that was terrible.
Fake choking up like we should have gave him. He was fake choking up, bro. I was like, are you kidding me? Now he's fake choking up. Come on now, stop the theatrics. To try to apologize. We're gonna try to get through that. Now, come on now, bro. Stop. It's easy. Hey, look, I was a bit insensitive last night, and I apologize. Simple. But again, and I'm not sure if you touched on this. If it were reversed, then would they want Shannon Sharp to apologize? The situation was different. So we got to be careful. We got to make sure we treat all the journalists fair down the line. That's all.
Yeah, and that's all we're saying, right? That's all that I'm asking for. That's why the title of this show is Skip Bayless did not apologize for his tweet about Damar Hamlin. That's it.
Hey, somebody said, who wins the Oscars, Deion or Skip? That is hilarious. I give it to Skip.
I give it to Skip on it. Bro, that hey, Jenny, I'm so broken up. I didn't even sleep a wink last night. Bro, do you think he didn't sleep a wink last night because of this young man, or he didn't sleep a wink because he knew he had to come to this show and come up with some bull crap? Again, this is all speculation. So if you didn't sleep a wink last night, you are so torn up about it, you don't see the tone deafness in this tweet. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
No, that's like, bro, that's just like me saying that's like me saying, you know what, man? I'm watching boxing or whatever. A guy dies in the ring. Man, he took a deep left hook, man. They tried to work on him. This, that, and the other. Hey, life goes on, man. I pray for him and his family. The life goes on overshadows all the rest of that foolishness.
Right.
All of that. Hey, man, it's a tough game. You got to fight this, that, and the other. I pray for him and his family. ... But life goes on. That's the tone deafness piece of that.
It's a great point. You're right. And you're right. And coming from someone who's done this for all the time, it's definitely tone deaf. I agree 100%.
12, man. I'm going to call you right after this because we got to talk, boy. We got to talk, boy. Listen.
Yeah, listen. Listen, there was a lot going on. I thought it coached me, coach. That's why I came on to actually see if you were going to have Dom on because, I'm not sure if, I know we got a lot of college football fans, but, man, did we have not a lot of really, really good games over the past week with college football?
Bro, if you're not playoff games was legit.
Listen, if you weren't a college football fan, man, these games over the past week they've been absolutely phenomenal, and that's why people realize. Some people say, I don't watch the NFL as much anymore. I watch college because of games. We could talk about a lot of different games, but yeah, hey, just hit me, Coach, man. It's always a pleasure. Love you, bro.
Love you
we'll
too,
talk,
man.
I just want to call in. Like I said, I just happened to see you on. So let me call in. I saw you cutting up, so let me call in and see what's going on. And I see you respond to me about you want to get on Deion. When I say Ed going to Bethune, I heard cricket. So you got to holler at me now.
I was in Miami. You know what? Here's the funny thing. I know we talking like ain't nobody else listening, but when I went to Miami for that week, I took no technology, nothing. So even I'm back on it, though. I needed that. I'm revived. I charged up.
That's good. I agree. That's fine. Yeah.
I got my plug right here. Hold up. Give me a plug out my back. I got my plug right here. I normally stick it in my neck and keep going. Even when I came on, a dude asked me, dog, Coach, when you sleep? I don't ever sleep. I charge up because I'm finna go again live at 8 o'clock. It's already 5:30. And matter of fact, I'm finna get off here now because the Under Armour All-American Bowl game should be going on right about now. If it hasn't already started. So I want to watch a little bit of that as well. But,
okay.
But 12, man, I love you, bro. I'm going to call you literally right after this.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Ellen, the producer, check your DM. I'm going to be hitting you up in a few seconds. Don't be like you don't hear me. But shout out to everybody out here, man. I'm going to leave you on so don't nobody else call. He done hung up on me. Let me take the number off. The dog done hung up on me. But anyway, I'm going to cut the line off. But, man, great last call right there by my dog. That's V12, man. You normally see him on the Canes Talk Live show. But anyway, 314 in the building, man. We had up to almost 600 people in here. I appreciate it. But the Under Armour game is coming on. I want to check some of the people out, like Peter Woods. Go check out. I did an exclusive interview with him, the person, player, and prospect. I did one with Asar Wasim, who's going to Colorado, as well as I just dropped one with Peyton Kirkland, who's the offensive tackle out of Dr. Phillips here in Orlando, Florida, going to Texas. So we're looking to do some more with that. Looking for some Hurricane dudes too to do one. Tell them to stop tripping. Y'all go spam up their Twitter account. But with all that being said, we got your number in our phone, Coach. I know, but I cut the app off, so you can call all you want. You definitely finna get that. But anyway, with all that being said, man, I thank you guys. I just want to vent. That don't mean anything gonna change. I just want to give people a platform to kind of get off their chest. I like to talk to the team and let them know how I feel about certain things. We went from sun up to sundown out there, man. So it actually gotten dark. And we're going to make it happen. But we'll be right back on at 8 o'clock tonight. Don't miss it, Eastern Standard Time. And with all that being said, I appreciate it. Peace, love, hair grease, and Coach will catch you at the 50-yard line, as always. And we'll holler at you. Peace.